Hello. Hello.
Yeah. Water bottle there. Lights are switched on. Is the fan on? Yep, fan is on. Damn it! Nearly hit the mic again. Congratulations, Furry Cures. You hid in the what's-a-mahoozy, the chat, because I turned on my OBS and I see at 5 a.m. like a good full
Furry
hour.
Cures 1221 thinks you should do 20 squats.
Oh, of course. I see like a full hour before my scheduled stream. I see Furry Cures. I know you. I know you're here, J-Cat, with J-Cat in all caps, and then Hendrix with LOL, and then finally I started the stream like, 50 minutes later or something like that, and then Furry Cures is like, my time to shine, and then just goes, boop, first. So, congratulations, Furry Cures, for making it first to the stream. We then have Mighty Fox, a first-time chatter. Hi there. I'm guessing you know Furry Cures somehow. And then we got Bestest Boy. Hello. Good to see you. All right, I got to do my 20 squats before I forget. I'm going to get into... Hang on a second. I need to emote. I need to get my gun emote to there and see if I will succeed. I got an axe. Hopefully I'll take on Bestest Boy and their sword. Hi there, Code. I am doing my squats. Big stretch. Big stretch for the big boy. Here we go. One, two, three.
Oh,
four.
This is beautiful.
5. Thank you, Hendrix. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Oh my gosh, the emotes are going everywhere. 18, 19, and 20. Thank you for the 20 squats, Furry Cures. Greatly appreciate it. Gotta work on my ass. So, I slept in until 10 a.m. today, which actually felt really good. I'm gonna be real with you. My goodness, I haven't died yet. Although I look like I'm gonna soon die. Code's gotten 2 kills. Furry Cures has gotten 2 kills. Oh, is that a kill for me? Yeah, that's a kill for me. So yeah, ooh, excuse me, out of breath just a bit. So yeah, I was asleep till 10 a.m. today, which was really great. This peaceful stream reminds me of a puzzle.
This is beautiful.
Was it a puzzle you could solve, Blue?
Calm your rice paddy.
I don't know if you know this, Blue, but I reckon I can solve... I've solved my puzzles here and there. I've figured out the puzzles in Resident Evil and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Thank you for the head pets, Mighty Fox. I know my way around puzzles. I was up at 6 a.m. What are you doing up at 6 a.m. on a weekend? You could have slept in. Am I still alive? Yeah, I'm still alive with 2 kills. Come on, get rid of Furry Cures. Oh no, there's Code again with the bow and arrow. That's not great. You work? That is fair. If you have to wake up for your job, that kind of sucks. I have to wake up at around 6 as well for my job when working on the weekdays and what have you. All right, so hi, Icy. How's it going? Hopefully you're doing all right. My goodness, 19 months from Code, 9 months from Blue. Do I have to add a new, hang on a second. Where is it? Affiliate. Do I have to add in a new subscriber badge at some point? Or am I... Okay, I've got my 1-year badge. I need to release a 1.5, a 2, and a 2.5-year badge next. All right, I'm gonna have to... Thankfully, Chase got me this really cool Photoshop file, so then that way I'm able to... I can add in different sort of... Because right now they're all just exercise bottles, as you can see, with varying levels of full. But what I can do is I can actually change the logo a little bit. I don't know if it's 100% effective, because I'm not that cool of an artist, and this idea I gave to Chase. Yes, I believe it was Chase I gave it to, and I was like, this is the idea I have, and this was the intention was so then that way I could progressively work on it. Look at Code, last man standing. Not a problem to have. Cool. Thank you. I appreciate that it's not a problem I should have. It's just, very first worldy sort of problem. Okay, I need to close this. Close that. Keep those open. Move this all the way down there. I don't need this open. I'm going to keep that running. Where was I in my train of thought? Jesus. I had something and now it's gone. Oh yeah, I had to... So yeah, I slept in until 10 a.m. today, which was really great. and I didn't really do any, like, I did like a little bit of grocery shopping, and then I called my sister. It's her birthday today. I said happy birthday to her, and here is a puzzle for you. A woman comes in to buy a $30 pair of shoes. Okay, so she has $50. You can't break it, so you go next door to break that 50 into smaller notes. You give her the change, then the next door shopkeeper comes over and says the 50 is a fake. You are shocked by the news and give her 50 from your till. The woman and the shoes are gone. How much did you lose? No, because like if you gave her change for the 50 and the next door shopkeeper is saying it's fake, then your money is the fake, like the money you gave for the exchange is fake. So you got a $50 note out giving away fake money. So the fake money would have been 0, and then you just gave, you didn't earn or lose anything that way. No, actually, no, that is not true, actually, because like, hang on, let me reread that. Did I give back 50 or did I give back 30? You are shocked by the news and give her 50 from the till. You didn't lose, well, okay, so you didn't lose anything. You didn't gain $20, because like the thing she needed to buy was like $30, but she had $50 that she wanted to exchange. You give her like $50 in change or something or other. She goes to the store, buys her thing. The store guy then goes back to you and saying, hey, that woman paid with a fake money. And you're like, oh, I'm so sorry. Here's $50. Like, yeah, you don't gain anything because like the money you gave was fake. So you're not losing that $50. I know what I'm about, Blue. Why does that sound like a real life situation for you? Did you do that? Hang on, where's the camera? Did you do that? My hands are not pointing properly. You didn't gain, but you lost something. No, you didn't lose anything. Because if you're giving away, if you're doing the swap for the, for the 50 and your initial 50 was a fake, you didn't like lose anything on the first go. And the shopkeeper is complaining.
She left with the shoes.
You lost the shoes. Well, no, I didn't own the shoes. The other person owned the shoes. This puzzle is bullshit. What the this is confusing my brain right now. What kind of fucking puzzle is this? You're not making any sense whatsoever. I think you give her $50 in smaller bills. Then give her $50 because it was fake. If you give the shopkeeper the fake 50, then you lose nothing. No, I wasn't the shop. No, okay. You didn't define which one of me's, because I wasn't the shoe shop. You were saying you can't. You go next to in the small. You give her the change. The next door shopkeeper comes over and says the 50 is fake. You are shocked by the news and give her 50 from your till. The woman in the shoes are gone. How much did you like? You're not the person selling the shoes, so it doesn't matter. Like, the shoes don't matter for you. You are a shopkeeper selling a pair of shoes to the woman. No. The previous person was the shopkeeper selling shoes. You were just a different shopkeeper altogether. This is bullshit. I don't need a stand for this nonsense, Blue. Who is she buying? What? Read the question properly. It's a bullshit question, is what it is. That makes no sense. That makes no sense whatsoever. All right, hang on a second. I gotta do some important shit. I gotta update my emote. So because. A woman comes in to buy a $30 pair of shoes. She has $50, but you can't break it, so you go next door to break that 50 into smaller notes. You give her the change, then the next door shopkeeper comes over and says the 50 is fake. You are shocked by the news and give her 50 from your till. The woman and the shoes are gone. How much did you lose? I'm not paying attention, I'm sorry. Alright, hang on a second. So we had red, so that was our previous emote. I am not gonna bother. All right, and then looking at, so we now have different labels. I reckon we're gonna go with a diamond label now, and I'm gonna change it to. Can I change it to the light blue again? Hang on a second. All right, so yonk.
Just
all
thought
right.
hearing it out loud makes it easier to understand.
Nah. All right, so this is light blue. All right, so now file, quick export as PNG. Gotta move that window real fast so no one can see my my crazy images of all the different times I've had to render out. Ah, yes, stream announcement. I'm doing this really quickly before I go into before I go into what's-a-mahoozy, into before I go into thingy. Oh no, I gotta do different. Wait, do I have to do different sizes? Oh, I gotta do different sizes. 18 pixel, 36 pixel, and 72. God fucking damn it. Alright, hang on. Cancel that. File. Export as. Alright, so the first one is 72 by 72. There we go. So that's X72. And then the next one is half its size, and the next one is a quarter of its size. Because half of 72 is approximately 36, and half of 36 is 18. So that should hit that. So then I go export. And then I'm gonna icon, subscriber icon. And I'm gonna go, so that's the 1.5 years. And then I'm gonna select that folder. Alright. Wait, was that 1.5 or 2 years? 1.5, hang on. So 1.5. Twitch resources. Is this the right... Have I done this correctly? So 0.25, 0.5, and 72. Alright, so that's for the 1.5. By uploading and saving, you're... Yep, cool. Awesome. Oh, you lose $70 and $30 in shoes. No, okay. If you're talking about, like, the full thingy-madiggy, then, if this is how we're playing with the losses, here's what's happening. You've taken on, like, some sort of, like, fake $50 note or some shit like that. You've lost 50 because of the whole change thingy-madiggy. You then give away $50 because of the whole fake thingy-madiggy. You're up to 100, and then you lose an additional 30 because of the shoes being stolen. So now you're out $130, I'm guessing. Hi there, Duncan Dice. Welcome to the stream. Or you're down to actually no, hang on a sec. You'd be down to 80 because the fake 50 is fake and $30. Hi. How was Dungeons and Dragons? Blue gave me the answer isn't 100. The answer is 80, isn't it? Because 50 plus 30. You had to give away your $50 because of a fake note. You had to do... And then you lost 30 because apparently you're the shopkeeper in the shoe shop, despite the fact it wasn't defined that you were the shopkeeper in the same shoe shop. It isn't 80 either. What the fuck, Blue? Why are you telling me these things? What are we doing wrong? What are we doing wrong about this goddamn question? It better not be 50. Better not be. It's either 50 or it's $20. Those are the only other two. The answer is 50 because you exchanged the... God fucking damn it. Ah! Why do you make the himbo brain hurt like this? It's not visual. It wasn't a visual thingy-madiggy. Oh, what? Oh, I did the wrong one. God damn it. Hang on a second. I need to fix this. Hang on. Export as. Does it keep all the... Yes, it does. Cool. Exporting, that's going into the 1.25 year, selecting that folder. It will override all that. That's fine. Then we go from there. Then we go to normal blue. File, export, export as. We go export because it keeps all that stuff. And we go from the 1.25 to 2 years. I'm just really quickly getting new badges made because I've been streaming for like over 2 years, and like I'm updating it so then that way people get cooler badges. So Code the Yoshi should be one of them. All right, give me a second. I gotta delete this badge. And then, so the 1.5 gets this. Wait, is that 1.5 different? No, it isn't. What the hell? Hang on. The 1.5, is that different? Or am I just having an aneurysm? Hang on. So Donkin Dice was doing campaign building, I see. Okay. Okay. Also, why is my thingy-majiggy not showing? There we go. You can barely tell. Alright, that's fine. I am fine. I am fine with it being like that. Alright, there we go. The 1.5 there. And then we go over to 2 years. And the 2 years looks like... Nope, that's the 500 pixels to demonstrate. 2 years, there we go. Yep, so then we got that one. Ding. 2 years, so we go 25. Then we go 0.5. And then we go the full size. We upload that. Yep, I own the rights to these images because I was the one that was doing all the thingamajiggies. All right, so we went from bright yellow to bright blue to normal blue. Now we're on to green. File, export as. The woman who bought the shoes made off with $30 from the shoes and $20 in change. The shopkeeper next door received 50 back as you took 50 from which cancels out the transaction. Still sounds like bullshit. Terrible. Give me a different one, Blue. Give me a different one that's like, you know, an image or something like that. That would be a lot better. All right, so the 2.5 years. Alrighty, so we do that one, and then we do that one. All right. All right, I can close off that window, upload this badge. All right, I will need to refresh my my page, and I probably need to refresh all of my Stream Elements stuff. But now we should have... Yay! Code the Yoshi is one of the peeps with a 1.5 year subscriber badge. Bing. And then I think mine also has a... Yep, mine is at the 1.5 years because I've only been streaming for 22 months. You are? Yeah! Your badge has been updated. At least if you refresh your page, it should update to the new logo because you've been subscribed for 19 months with me. I'll give you an easier one. 5 cats can catch 5 rats in 5 minutes, but how many cats are needed to catch 100 rats in 100 minutes? Five cats? Because you need 5, so 5 cats to 5 rats, 5 minutes. So that's converted to, like, you know, you just need to... For every 5 minutes, you get 5 rats. So if you're just going from, like, you know, ding, a ding, a ding, a ding, a ding, pretty, like, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50... 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Like, 5 cats. You just need, like, is the answer 5 cats, Blue? It better be 5 cats. Because, like, you know, it's like... Yeah. It is 5 cats. Fucking called it. Alright, I can close the subscriber badge now. So, the next badge I need to do... Let's see, what's that? 6, 5, 23? Oh, that's probably in a few months that gets unlocked. All right. I can close Photoshop now. I can close these windows. And I can now open up the game source. Hit the pause. Hi there, Leon. You couldn't sleep, so what the... ignore the zebra in the background, okay? There we go. All right. Awesome. So, we're going through more Stomblood. Also, I need to stop this, this attack thingy-majiggy. What's happening here? Who's winning? Mighty Fox. Congratulations, Mighty Fox. You are the person with the most kills. Well, you're tied for Ryan, but I'm not... Or, sorry, for Leon. But I'm not going to bother waiting until one of you, like, you know, dishes it out. So, we're exiting out of that. There needs to be, like, more people in chat, I feel, some days. Blue, how do you encourage people to chat in your chat? As a fellow connoisseur of streamers, this is what happens because I play a lot of Professor Layton. You could be playing like modern games. Also, hang on a second. I can do this.
Hint coins? Is there any hint coins? Hello? Hint coins?
Hello? Hello? Hint coins? Hello? It's Saturday, so people are either sleeping or doing something at night. I know some people are playing, Dead Island 2, which, you know, very tempting to do, but, you know, I've got way too many things in, like, my current catalog, and I have to, like, get set up for next Friday's stream when I'm trying to do, Jedi shit. And I'm actually trying my darndest. Like, look at this, chat. This is my latest... Oh, Jesus. I forgot. I render these things in 4K. This is, like, my latest render in trying to put together some Jedi robes for me. I need to, like, fix it up a little bit and, you know, put a bit of detail into the cloth. Because I think what I'm going to do is... I'm not going to do a cloth sim on this thing. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, like, you know... sculpt it here and there, try and get it more in line with my body a little bit, and then I'm gonna put on like a bump map, so then that way it has more of a fiber kind of look to it. So, to communicate with the chat, you need to engage with them through all means, like causing them to go against you, or to make them think. Are you trying to sneak into a cinema? Some of them are doing the Road to Tears of the Kingdom. Oh, the what's-a-mahoozy, the Zelda game. I didn't know that was out yet. My pecs are too big to be a cloak? They're not big. Like, look at this. They're there. Okay? Also, I should... Dink. So, yeah. Besides, that's a lot better than, like, look at this. Like, you could see the polygons. So, not too big of a problem there. And then... Can I show this? No, I can't show this. Can't show that. Can't show that. Can't show that. Can I show... No, I don't think I... Can I show that? No, I don't think I can show that. You're a freight train, really? I'm a freight train. It's coming out in 2 weeks. I'll catch up. I'll find a way to catch up, and maybe I'll be a big enough streamer where I'm gonna be like, alrighty then, I am going to compete against the big streamers and play the brand new game on day 0, like I'm doing with Jedi Survivor. Are you drawing horny art again? Lol, Leon does not know I've done... It's not horny art, it's horny renders. There is a difference between art and 3D art. Alright? Both can be appreciated, but only one of them can you really show to your parents and not have too many questions asked. Now, obviously this question, like, might, you know, still be raised if it's furry art, but I'm gonna be real with you. If I had to demonstrate to my family, oh, hey, what is furry art? I am most certainly going to send them a safe-to-work thingy-mahoogies instead of a, the what's-mahoozy, the, not safe-for-work art. I don't need my family seeing my penis. Oh shit, I just... Someone's gonna clip that out of context, aren't they? They're just gonna... Oh, I can see it now. It's just gonna be this really short clip. I'm just gonna have this very blank face of just... Maybe you should make some brain training. You've sent me some, so... Wait, have I? Like, you? I don't think so. Hang on. Oh, that's the ref sheet. That doesn't count. The ref sheet should not count. Zebra getting cancelled on Twitch, saying a ref sheet doesn't count for a dick pic. I remember having to ask Zeebs to make a safe for work for gift art. And I did. I did, Blue. I made a safe for work because someone did not appreciate zebra nipples and underwear. Apparently that was too risque. God damn it, Twitch. I demand our nipples back. Oh, that reminds me. Where does my ref sheet go now? Hang on. Twitter. Okay, so the first one is... Okay, no, I can do better than that. I should really have... Hang on a second. Imgur. Give me a second. I'm gonna get the Imgur link. That's gonna be a lot better for, sharing purposes or what have you. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Let me fix my scripting. Commands, actions, here we go. And then, reference. If you're yep, here we go. If you're looking for reference, please go to imgur.com. There we go. And then, not safe for work stuff. Yep, that can be found on my Fur Affinity. I really wish I can change my name in Fur Affinity. It's tempting to just close the account and make an entirely new one, but I don't want to do that just for a name change. I looked through all of your art for a ref sheet that was usable. Blue just suffering as they have to go through a furry's gallery on Fur Affinity. What's the new meme? God's greatest soldier, parentheses, me, being given his toughest battles, parentheses, talking to a woman. Like, I feel like that's the meme. Oh my god, why is there art of you standing under a stepladder not wearing a hard hat? Oh, I'm pretty sure, hang on a second. Let me just quickly go to Fur Affinity. Let me look for a not safe for work that I can share in the Twitch. Give me a second, chat. Let me cook. All right, please, just let me cook. All right, gallery. Hang on. Here we go. Here's something that is not safe for work. Ignore how my nose looks. This was back in the day. Hang on. Open an image, new tab. Ignore how my nose looks. This was like this was like pre proper streaming thingamajiggy when someone, you know, was able to tell me, oh hey, like, you know, even though this is technically correct for a horse, don't do this with your nose. Bam. Look at this. Safe, like, not safe. I'm under a bed. Do you know how many accidents there's gonna be if you're just hiding under someone's bed? It's dangerous. Don't go hiding under beds. All right, what's another one? That one did not spook me as well as I thought it would. Thank you for the 100 bits, bestest boy. Didn't you destroy that cover? I know the one you're talking about. No, it's a different bed. Let's see. Do I have any other not safe for works that I can share on stream. No, because everything else has a wait, no, this doesn't have a penis. Hang on a second. Save images. Dink. Alrighty then. Another not safe for work thingy-madiggy is trying to put on a helmet that does not fit you. Look at this. I'm trying to be a crusader, but unfortunately I can't put on the helmet. You so fooled us. He can destroy me. Damn, he thick. Of course I'm thick. Like, that's half the point. Boy. Either or I still like you, buddy, but you are subject to cuddles for being so damn thick. Well, thank you for the hugs and the cuddles. But yeah. Oh! Some of you might have seen, like, hey! I want my shirt back, please. Some of you may have seen a while ago the, where is my photo library? There we go. And then Africa. Where's my pictures? There's my pictures. A while ago, you might have seen, this, like, someone did a cool, funny Photoshop edit of this. But it's it's basically Kahlua. Like, if Kahlua was real, and hang on a sec, why is my thingy-majiggy not responding? No, do not hyper himbo me while I'm looking for pictures from Africa. All right, let me find the photo. It is funny. It is here it is. So, Kahlua is real? No, he isn't. He's a furry. He's a lion on the internet. Any whoosies. So I got this picture, and some of you may have seen it on Twitter, where it's, you know, it's got Kahlua photoshopped on top of a lion, but because the hat is on the lion, you don't see the expression. Look at this lion. Look at this lion, just struggling. Like, the definition of struggling. Trying to, like... Fun fact, this lion is trying to go down the tree. It's not that big of a drop. Like, this lion just does not know how to handle... Like, this is... Oh, too big. Resize. Resize. Look at this lion. This lion right here. Hi there, Jason. This line right here. So these two are the same line. Like, this is like he's just so scared. Look at this lion. Just Cookie. Cookie. Oh, Cookie's gone. Sorry, Jason. But yeah, look at this lion just trying to go down a tree, and it's just so scared. Cookie for Jason. There you go. Here's your cookie before it goes away. So yeah, oh my gosh. I have just so many of these photos. I saw a lot of lions in Tanzania. Cookie for furry cures. Hang on, did I take any pictures of zebras? I took a picture of a hippo. Bird. Oh, Cookie once again for Jason. Bunk. Dink. Transform. Fit in stream. Look at this fucking hyena just blepping. Look at this yeen. Look at this yeen.
Hello.
Just being like, bleh. It's just going fucking bleh. Silly yeen. Just dirt. The smartest hyena. And then... Oh, if you ever wonder what Kahlua's eyes actually look like, here it is. This is what Kahlua's eyes actually look like. See this, like look at their beady... Oh, Jesus. No. Just let me crop. There we go. And then... Yonk. Yonk. If you ever want to know what a lion's eyes look like, it's this. It's just this pierce. It's like absolutely. When did you take these? 2018, I'd say. This was like a few years ago, but I don't share everything. Because, like, there are some pictures of my family in here that I don't want to share, because I don't want to, like, accidentally DDoS them by... Oh! Here they are. Zebras! Look at them. Look at these Zeebs. Look at these Zeebs. Them teeth, though. Oh! let me show you teeth. Where's teeth? Hang on a second. Teeth. 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 Teeth.
Did you see it?
Zebra! I'm looking for a lion with teeth.
Did you see it?
Here we go. A lion that is yawning. Look at that lion. Look at that lazy bum. Look at him just snoozing there while the lioness, you know, actually goes around and does the actual hunting. The male lion just sits there having a yawn. Absolute waste of a lion. Just absolute waste. And then anything else? So those are all mine. And then... Okay, my mom hasn't shared anything. And then... we got... Let's see. We got monkey. Look at that! Monkey. I think I have another monkey. Give me a second. Let me find the other monkey. Where's the other monkey? There you are. Monkey. Do not be fooled by this monkey's eyes. This monkey can kill you. And then also ding 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 ding. Baboons. Monkey. Look at it. Look at him. Look at the little one like right behind me. Apparently, it had blue balls for some reason. Don't know why they. Don't know how like they can have blue balls. All right, hang on a second, and then wait, is that one a monkey as well? Hang on. Dink. Yep, that's the monkey with the blue balls. Never mind. I can't share that on Twitch. All right, I need to get rid of all these images. I need to stop sharing pictures of Africa. I need to stop. I need to get on with the rest of my stream. Alphanaut has devised a cunning strategy to reclaim Doma Castle. Do tell me, do tell me. I imagine you are eager to hear the particulars of our plan. Allow me a moment to gather everyone's attention. The same way monkeys can have a red... Well, I thought the red butt was because of all the blood.
If all are in agreement, I will outline my plan to retake Doma Castle.
Cool.
First, Lys and the Doman Irregulars will conduct a series of raids against Imperial targets throughout the surrounding area, with the aim of drawing the garrison's attention.
I am totally paying attention to this, despite the fact I'm just a tank and I'm just gonna make my own path.
Our allies will launch a surprise attack on the castle's airborne defenses.
Uh-huh.
In this way, we will prevent the enemy's airships from rendering support and cut off one means of escape.
Dun, 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 dun.
Alize and I, together with the shinobi, will exploit the ensuing chaos to infiltrate the moon gates and disable the Magitech field generators.
Okay.
Once the barrier is down, we will be free to cross the One River and reach Doma Castle. It is at this point that we must turn to our Confederate and Kojin allies. They will commence to bombard the castle with cannon fire, while sailing west towards the Doman Enclave.
Wait, the Enclave? Why would you want them to sail away from the castle?
I am not particularly
Because
paying
the
attention.
Enclave is home to countless civilians.
So we're not going
Once
to attack
pressed,
civilians.
the Imperials may well think to take them hostage, and I would fain forestall any such attempt. After we have secured the Enclave, we may lay siege to Doma Castle directly. The main strength of the Doman Liberation Front, under Lord Hien's command, shall be committed to this endeavor, as will you and your redoubtable allies.
Yeah, punching things.
The rest is simple. We scour the castle for the Vice, and we subdue her. Without their leader, what remains of the Imperials' morale will crumble, and they will surrender or attempt to flee. And Doma will be free.
I'm gonna be real with you, chat. I was not following this plan 100%. I just know we're attacking the castle, and some people are helping us,
Your thoughts,
and then
Lord
some
Hien?
people will, like, you know,
If any points were
do something
unclear
else.
or gave you cause for concern, I should be glad to go over them with you.
So I'm not a military smart man. I just swing
Nay,
things
'tis
with a
fine
sword.
plan. You have a talent for this. That much is plain.
Do you? Damn,
We shall
sorry, I
carry
just need
out
to scratch
Alphinaud's
the top of
plan
my
to
foot.
the letter. Time is of the essence, as you know, so let us each see to our respective preparations. Carry on.
What the fuck is with my foot? Why is it so inflamed? Why do I want to scratch it? Chat, how do I stop my foot from feeling itchy? Do I just have to, like, dip it in honey or some shit? Let's just stop being itchy. Carry out the plans. Yep, okay, cool. Yep. Yep. Yep, 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 yep. Yep. Absolutely. Was not following 100%, but we will try. Also, I should not be my warrior. I need to be my dark knight. Hien. There is no shortage of tasks which must needs be completed before we can launch our attack. If you have a moment, perhaps you could lend a hand. That said, I have only just returned. 'Twould be better for you to seek with Alphinaud to find out how you might be of service. Cool. Am I just running around? I think I'm just running around. Trying to keep busy. Full glad I am to hear it. There is one task which comes to mind. As I explained during my briefing, Alize and I will need to infiltrate the moon gates to disable the Magitech field generators. Though I pride myself on my knowledge of various subjects, I must confess I lack confidence in my knowledge of this particular one, which is why I turned to an expert. I have been conversing with Sid via Tataru, attempting to ascertain the design of the generators based on our limited intelligence. Most recently, he sent a parcel with some documents which he believes may be of use. I would like for you to go to Kugane and bring them back here. In the meantime, I will continue to work with our shinobi allies to plot a path into the gates. Safe travels, Grant, and thank you again. Sounds good to me. Dun dun. Alright. Oh, we're going all the way back here. Sounds good to me. Alrighty. This is just meant to be invoking Japan, right? Like, I'm not having the wrong idea here. This is meant to be, like, Japan. Japan! Greetings, honored sir. Will you be entering the Ruby Bazaar offices? Yes, I need to go talk to, what's-some-whoosies. Tataru. Oh, hello! And you're also, like, in the cool, like, robe thingy-majiggy, the kimono. I think it's called a kimono? Grant! What are you doing here? I thought you were off fighting nomads on the Azim Steppe. Mm-hmm. Oh, you beat them. Good show. Shame I didn't get to see it. Alphanaut has been keeping me appraised of the situation in Doma. I may not be any good in a physical fight, but in paperwork, I'm the true Kagan. Haha. Has grown rather accustomed to her life in Kugane. I can tell. She is in the robes. Meanwhile, what's-some-whoosies, I forget this guy's name, but I remember we kept doing the cyberpunk noise. I think it was because his name was Dick or something, or it had to do with Cummings, or Johnson, or just something penis related. You're here for a parcel Sid sent? Right. Wait a moment, and it will be right out. Yeah. Just look into this man. This man is just clearly infatuated. It arrived not long ago. A porter delivered it to our offices along with various other knickknacks from Eorzea. Sid regrets that he couldn't come here in person. Apparently his hunt for the dragon in Omega demands his full attention, you see. Still, he has reasonably confident that the documents he provided would be enough for Alphanaut to do the work himself. So, as soon as that parcel gets here, we can open it up and see what's inside. Pardon my intrusion, but the parcel in question, was it not the one you placed on the shelf in the back for safekeeping? I believe so, yes. Why do you ask? Well, you see, on closer inspection, said parcel appears to have been addressed to the Sekaiskagumi barracks. Though it does indeed bulge with a quantity of paper reminiscent of a rather large instruction manual, the lingering scent of lilac leads me to conclude it's, in fact, a sizable collection of love letters. What? Impossible! That porter was carrying a parcel addressed to us! I saw the writing with my own eyes. Oh, I do not doubt that in the least. However, as he was tasked with a number of deliveries, I can only presume that he handed you another parcel by mistake. This is a disaster! We have to find that porter right this instant. Just decided to do its arms thing. My, she can move quickly when she has a mind to do it. So quickly she neglected to take those love letters with her. They too must be redirected to their rightful recipient. Dun, dun. They should also aid you in tracking down the right porter. They keep records of their deliveries and so forth, after all. The man in question was of middling height and build, not unlike myself. Black hair, short, terribly helpful in Kugan. I know, a Chihiri sort. Wearing bright colors, as I recall. I will send a few of my men out to search, but in the meantime, why don't you take the parcel and see if you can't track him down yourself? I will wait here on the off chance he realizes his mistake and return. Sounds good to me. You do absolutely nothing while I do everything. Because I am the warrior of light, and as the protagonist, I have to do everything around here. Alright, so I'm heading to the something Yakuza district. Ah, you're not attuned to the destination. Damn, I didn't realize I wasn't attuned to that one. Alright, jump over this. Thank you. Doon 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 doo 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 doo. Alright, so she's talking to him. Knowing our luck, he's gonna be like behind something. Attune to this thingy-majiggy really quickly. You have attuned yourself to all the aetherite shards in Kugane. The ruby price and the airstrip landing are now accessible as aetherite destinations. Cool. Alright, is he here? Yes, he is. An overworked porter. Hello. Are you playing Death Stranding? A good day to you, sir, but I have no time to chat. I have to head for the Bocorio, or was it the hostelry? No time! No time! Excuse me, sir, but here is a lilac-scented love letter. I recognize that parcel. I delivered it to the Ruby Bazaar not long ago. What of it? A mistake? For the Sakisakumi, you say? You're right. How stupid of me. Unfortunately, I have yet to visit the barracks. This is for you, yes? I will take the other in exchange. Awesome. Cool. Did my job. Now we can turn... Wait. And then we go back to the Ruby Bazaar. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. And Tataru is just instantly back here instead of talking to the perplexed people. I'm sorry. I couldn't find him. I guess we just have to hope he realizes his mistake and returns soon. Not to worry. Here is Sid's parcel, despite the fact I could have easily have just taken it myself and moved on with the rest of my day instead of coming all the way back here. That's it! That's the parcel! You found him! Though, knowing our luck, Sid put the wrong papers in here. Starts ripping it open. Nope, this is it. These are the documents detailing the operation of the Magitech field generators Alpha Nod requested. Give him. I can only imagine what would have happened had we sent Grant back to Doma with a parcel full of love letters. The look on Alpha Nod's face when he reads the first page. On second thought, I'm a little disappointed we didn't. Everyone's working so hard to fight for the Doma's freedom, and here I am, making the same silly mistakes. It won't happen again, Grant, and I'll keep working hard to bring you the others' useful information. If we hear anything new, we'll contact you straight away. Oh, and you may be pleased to hear that we have brokered an arrangement between the company and the Confederacy. They require armaments. We provide, discreetly, and at a reasonable price. I'm sure Lord Lolorito was pleased to hear it. Indeed he was. Indeed he was, yes, because that bastard, that fucking rat Lolafel bastard, just breeds conflict and would rather have people being in a perpetual cycle of violence rather than actual change. Or he would just, you know, just consolidate his what's-mahoozy, his power. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Well, it seems our time together is at an end. Give Alphanod and Alize my regards, will you? Sorry, I got distracted with my phone. Oh, wait, message. Is it a message request or... I don't know who this person is. Why are they messaging me? Why is a normie who has made no posts and have only been commenting on, like, you know, big titties and porn artists saying hi to me? I don't have big titties, and I'm not a porn artist. I don't know what they're hoping they can get from me. Delivered to Alphanod. Cool. It is going to be costly, but it is okay, because we have money! Alrighty, turn around, and we make our way this way. What's a mahoozy? It's very cute. I am not cute, however. I will accept, however, phrases like what's a mahoozy, thingy-mabob, what's a mahoozit, thingy-majig. I will most certainly be making such words. It seems just like yesterday you were here. Our plans proceed apace. Do you have the documents? Yes, I do. Here you go, the Magitech Field Generator Manual. Excellent. This looks to be exactly what we need. Assuming our shinobi escort can see us safely inside the moon gates, I should have no trouble deactivating the barrier. Good, good. This is one less thing to worry about. Next mission, and we can get ourselves Gunbreaker, Dancer, or just the Heavenly Eye thingy-majiggy, and we get us some tiger skin while we do it. Should you wish for further employment, mayhaps you could speak with Alize. I believe she was planning to search the surrounding area for Imperial patrols. If you go now, you may be able to catch her before she departs. Awesome. More side questing before, like, the big event. Alize! So, yeah. How did you come to find me, Mighty Fox? I don't know if it was like the first time you spoke here. You followed a few days ago, apparently, though. Amazing. Hang on. Yeah. This is your first stream here. Hopefully you're doing alright. Alphana told me about my plans. Told you about my plans, and you wish to come with me? Well, far be it from me to refuse you. If truth be told, I'm not entirely sure what I expect to find. In the wake of our failed assassination attempt, the Imperials demonstrated uncharacteristic restraint. There was no public executions and not a single village was put to the torch. But, as I mentioned earlier, our latest intelligence does suggest a purge is imminent. For all we know, they could be out in the field even as we speak, surveilling their targets and making plans. If so, we need to put a stop to it. Let us begin our search in the north. First time checking you live. It's 5 a.m. where you are right now. Oh, damn. Holy shit. Well, I'm sorry that I've do these streams at such an early time. I will be real with you, however. Thankfully, I do set up the Sunday streams as a sort of catch-up stream. It's a lot lower energy than, you know, my normal, like, Friday, Saturday, or Monday streams. But the reason I have the Sunday morning streams is so then that way, American viewers, or those in, like, an entirely different time zone from normally able to watch these particular streams at a good time, the Sunday morning stream is an alternative time slot for them. So hopefully it's, like, enjoyable for them. Lightning sprite. Sorry, I just want to put my practice of the blade on this thing. Plus, it means this thing increases. Gives me practice. Because practice makes perfect. There we go. We get a tiny bit of experience for it, but that's okay. It wasn't for the experience, it was just to, you know, practice. Get me in the mood, get my combos ready. The 1, 2, 3, bam. Use a night owl so all is good. Fair enough. Just so long as it's only like a night owl thing instead of like an insomniac sort of thing, because I don't want to be responsible for people having some really bad sleep schedules is all. Sleep is very important. I used to be like absolutely shit with sleep schedules. Back in uni, I probably would have been up until like 2 in the morning or something crazy like that before I go to sleep, and I thought that was a totally fine thing to do. It was not a totally fine thing to do. It was an absolutely dumb thing to do, because some days, sure, I would be up until the next morning, so I would be having 2 breakfasts in one, like, you know, sleep cycle or something like that, and then I would just fall to sleep in the middle of the day. It was not great. I do not advise it. All quiet for now. Follow me to the next location. Alright, cool. We can just drop down here, I suppose. Hello! Welcome back. Hi there, Galanander. Wait, am I saying that right? Hang on a second. Who are you? Wait, what? What? Who are you? Why do you have rabbit ears? Why? Why can't I talk to you? Why are you just standing here? Why do you look like a fucking fox lady? Look at this. They put fucking Sashera into the game. It would be funny if Sashera's in the chat right now. Sashera. Is this you? Is this you in the game pretending to be an insomniac, Aru or whatever the lizard scalies are called? I'm really only like this on the weekends. I have time to get my sleep back on track. Ah. Needies. I probably fuck up with my sleep during the middle of the weekend, I will be real with you, but normally because of my sleep schedule in the weekday, where I'm trying to be a committed like 9 to 6 sort of sleeping schedule, I will normally sleep for longer on the weekend. So, and I'll still try to go to sleep by like midnight or something like that. Nope, not that. There we go. We're just surveying this coral. There's really nothing special about this shit. No Imperial patrols near our headquarters. Then, good. The last thing we need is to repeat of Ralgar's reach. Even so, 'twould be prudent to search a little longer. Oh, she just wants action. She just wants to fight some Imperials. Has there ever been a time where the name, like the organization name, I should say, Imperial, has actually been like a protagonist sort of group? Like I'm still having the heebie-jeebies when I'm hearing the Confederacy. I have a very strong like, I don't know how I feel about us, you know, being with the Confederacy, because as an American, anytime you hear of the Confederacy, you're thinking of like the American Confederacy, you know, the Civil War team. And they did not exactly come into that war for really good intentions. Not exactly the enemy I was worried about. Damn it all. I can't just leave the carcass lying in the middle of the road. You've gotten stronger at the very least. You've been able to take down a lion by yourself. Or is that a tiger? That's a tiger. Next to you, I feel like a child playing at swords and sorcery, though mayhap it suits me better than books. I owe much to a Mikote I met on my travels. He was a master of these techniques and kindly agreed to teach me the fundamentals. But I never could warm to common rapiers. I vastly preferred using a blade of my own creation, despite the toll it would take on me. Oranger's gift was a godsend, to be honest. Anyway, we're falling behind. We should split up and try to recoup some lost time. Teach this? Hang on a second. I got buttons. Teach this? Paint grab. And then back down to here. Nope, wrong button. This one. There we go. It would be nice if the butt emote, like, actually had a light here, but I guess not. Orange. I'm never gonna pay attention to, like, how to properly pronounce their name, I'm sorry to say. I'm gonna get it wrong every time. We've heard rumors of the Imperial soldiers skulking about disguised as villagers. One was supposedly spotted near the ribbons, to the south of here. Go and see if there's anything out of the ordinary. Cool, so while you get to do the fun nonsense of, like, you know, killing tigers and shit, I have to go and search places. Nobody deserves a real name because my tongue exists for English. Yes! There is only one language I speak, and it's English. America, fuck yeah. Coming around and save the motherfucking day, yeah, America, fuck yeah. Freedom is the only way now. Alrighty, now I gotta talk to this haunted elder. Oh, hello there, young man. My associates and I are in search of fertile soil for farming, and this land caught my eye. You have fucking swords. You're not exactly doing a really good job in not having me think you're dangerous. When I said cute earlier, was that okay? Would you prefer terms like handsome or other things that's uncomfortable? I don't want to say things that make people uncomfortable. I very much love being called handsome or sexy or himbo. Some people just call me cute because, you know, people just think I'm cute. But I am incapable of being cute. Observe as I do my cute rating. See, look at that. The robot says I am incapable of being cute. It's purely fictitious. There is no way whatsoever that I could ever be found as... Oh, hang on. Alvira's, meanwhile, is 44% cute, so you can call them cute. Damn, an 86% himbo. Good going there. Hello there. Oh, wait, I already caught that. I already read all this stuff. I don't believe them. You doubt my words? You suspect we have some other purpose in coming here? How vexing is it to be questioned in this manner? Very well. He desires the truth, and he shall have it. Deal with him. Oh, cool. What do you know? I now have to fight you guys. I wonder how that was going to happen. Get hit with my orbs. Cool. I really don't give a shit about your cool-ass techniques. The Setsugo Tetsu thingy-majiggy. Yeah, your slices do fucking nothing to me. I am a, I'm a whatsamahoozy. I'm a tank. I have all the health I can get. Noted. Thank you. Yeah, but no, I appreciate your questions of consent and such like that. So, I know, like, because here's the thing. A lot of people call me cute, stinky, smart, and not a zebra. But not cute doesn't mean not huggable. Ooh, ooh. Yes, huggable. You can still hug bros. All right, you can, like, just because I'm not cute doesn't mean that I don't like hugs. I very much still enjoy hugs. Okay, just because the bro is cute or not cute doesn't mean you can't kiss him. Dink, donk. All right. Then we go down here. Oh, would you look at that? Alize is talking to the haunted elder who decided to have his lackeys attack me. Your numbers are not bigger than mine. My himbo rating is uncalculable. Uncalculable. It can't be calculated. There we go. There we go. The haunted elder is defeated by Alize. A short girl with anger issues. Cookie for Engrel! Welcome, Engrel. I hope you're doing alright. Oh, I'm meant to be talking to Alize. That's it. I was wondering why I was just, like, standing there waiting for something to happen. I saw them attack you, and while this one fled, since you seem to have everything in hand, I decided to capture him. An Imperial, I presume? Mm-hmm. I knew it would come to this, but at the hands of a Westerner? Odoman would at least know the rights. You think you understand, but you do not. She will burn it all before she surrenders. She will never kneel again, nor should she. Dun. Hang on a second. I need to check in on Puffin. What the fuck is he? What the fuck are they? What the fuck are they? They're just watching someone without pants.
1221 thinks you should do 20 squats.
Yes. We are going to do the squats while we're having a flashback. Big stretch. Big stretch for the big boy. Big stretch for the big boy. Bink. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, damn it. I gotta keep going, though. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Thank you for the 20 squats. Ugh, so tired. Rest assured, the Noruri will receive due compensation. Young Asahi has great potential. That much is plain. If he applied himself, he may one day be granted the opportunity to go to Garlemald and learn from some of the leading authorities in the field of magitech. Few citizens are afforded such treatment, however, much less people of the provinces. You will need to do more. Oh, of course! Have no doubts that we shall! My husband and I want only the best imperial education for my boy. And then we have this woman. I finished planting the rice, mother. This look. Clearly the mother has a favorite. Clearly the mother has a favorite here. Not while the officer is here, Yotsuyu. Inside, now. Yes, mother. Just the absolute disrespect. Absolute disrespect. You did not mention that you had a daughter. My sister's, not mine. Kami rest her soul. She is utterly hopeless, but one cannot choose one's family. Indeed, she is of age to receive an education as well, is she not? Yet we have no records. I trust I need not remind you of your legal obligations. No, no, of course not. But she is weak and sickly. Someday she has not the strength to leave her bed, though a thought occurred to me. Mayhaps we can come to an understanding. She's gonna sell her daughter, isn't she? She's either gonna sell her daughter to the soldier, or she's just gonna offer her to the soldier in some way. This is some really weird shit. Wait, isn't this the... Someone who's played, like, Final Fantasy XIV, is that the same... Is that girl the same woman that's causing us grief in this area? That was a near thing. What happened? We were talking, and then all of a sudden you were somewhere else. Did one of those soldiers hit you on the head or something? Nope. Nope. I had the echo. I completely forgot that was a thing I had. I have been experiencing the echo. Well, if you say so, we should go and tell the others what happened here. Why am... Siri, stop listening to my conversations. I would very much appreciate it, Siri, if you stopped listening in on my conversations. This way. Alright, random mount time. We get a horse! Look at us go. Alright, we're gonna have to go up. Over the tigers. Another random person there. And then down we go. Oh, okay. There's just a hole here. That actually makes this a lot easier. Thank you. You didn't have to come with me, but you did, and for that, I am grateful. I told the others of our encounter with the disguised soldiers. Though we disposed of the bodies, it is only a matter of time before their comrades note their absence. As if we needed any reason to act quickly. Are you sure you're alright, by the way? You've been awfully quiet since we returned. Yes, I am fine. I just had, you know, the fun little echo aneurysm thingy-madoogie. If you still want for work... Alize has a suggestion. Cool. I tell you to rest and leave the rest to the others, but seeing as this isn't to your nature, Liz returned but a moment ago, looking a bit worried. It would seem that trouble is afoot in Name. You may as well go and ask her about it. As for me, I will not impose upon you any further. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. I hope these missions aren't becoming like an accidental exposition dump. Because, like, we just got the echo at the end of that one, which I feel like we should have gotten, like, at a different point earlier in the story. But let's see what happens. We've barely got enough armor as it is, huh? Oh, yeah, you're wearing, like, all of it on your legs. Oh, you're here to help? That's a relief. I've been trying to help the villagers in Name get ready for the operation, but we've run into a few problems. You remember how we're supposed to stir up trouble as a diversion, right? Well, the thing is, we don't have enough armor to go around. I thought the Daman Liberation Front would be able to furnish us with more, but it seems that's not the case. I was about to go and tell Eyes, why don't you come too? Cool. Awesome. More running aroundies. How far am I going? Not that far. Cool. Random mount time. Alright, we go for a floating eyeball. We're going for a Zubat or a Golbat. It's one of those two. Dun, dun. Oh wait, I could probably start exploring. I could probably start flying this way to get... Oh wait, no, that's Doma. We're definitely going to be exploring that, like, fairly soon. So what I should do is... My god, what is with this fucking wall? Dun 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 dun. Never mind. I'm just gonna use my guild to teleport there, and then I'll be able to get to that thing. Is there a prediction still up? No, there is not a prediction still up. Hang on a second. Let me... There shouldn't be a prediction. Oh. Why is there a prediction? There we go. Prediction done. Because I think I know the fight it was talking about, and I won that fight, so... Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. It's this boy. Oh, you're here too. I heard about those soldiers you and Alize encountered. I'm glad you're all right. Right then. Eyes, we have gathered up all the rope we could find in the village, and every tool with an edge, but it's still not enough. Even a hoe would suffice, but there ain't no space. Oh, there ain't enough space for a hoe? Thank you, Chigusa. Ryosen could use a hand if there is nothing else. As for more tools, I may have some in my home. Go and search it, take whatever meets your need. Dun, dun, dun. I have made enough rice balls for everyone, including some special ones for Lady Yugiri. Can I go and give them to her? You silly little girl, of course you can! Hurry! You never know when she'll have to leave on a secret mission. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry about that. Everyone's been trying to contribute since Lord Hien returned. There's so much to worry about. You're doing well, Ease. Though I have to ask, have you had any luck finding more armor? Unfortunately, no. Unlike weapons, there are no substitutes for proper protection. It's not as though we need full suits of Imperial plate, but we're not soldiers. If we attack without any equipment, we'll be slaughtered. The Daman Liberation Front doesn't have any armor to spare. I suppose we could ask Hancock, but there's... That's it! That's his name! His name is Hancock! But there's no telling how long it would take for him to send us supplies. Do you have an armorer in the village, or anyone with some skill to fashion armor? There is one man, a craftsman who fled the Enclave. He's experienced and may be able to help. I don't know if I can persuade him, though, but maybe you two could come with me. Dun, dun, dun. Hang on, I need to check in on something. Okay, she laughs way too loudly and it breaks the mic. How does she get away with that? His name is Tatsuranumuki, and he lives in Kusakari. Kusaki. In the south. Come with me. I had to check in on, like, Mega's stream. She's doing, like, a charity thingy-majiggy. I was able to convince her to take on a spoonful of hot sauce. Alright, so we're going there. Easy. Mount up. Dun, 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 dun. Is she still alive after it? Yes, she is. Mega is still alive. She's still streaming right now, doing donations to, she's running like a charity stream or something or rather. Hang on a sec. Mega's arts. There we go. That should be it. St. Jude. That's it. Oh, wait. Down this way. Dun, 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 dun. Hello there, old man. Who are these starry-eyed youths who stand before me? One who sings of rebellion, of liberation? Surely they would not think to trouble me with such foolish dreams. Oh, go and say what you will, but do not take offense if I die from laughter. You are a crazy man, good sir. Say again? You would have me fashion armor for villagers who wish to fight Imperial regulars? Mad fools, charging boldly to meet their deaths. Bring me steel, and I shall give them shells to shield their soft pellies. You calm your rice paddies. You calm your rice paddies. I'm not I am not bottoming out my mic and making people, you know.
Go suck a lemon.
You go suck a lemon. Yes, yes. Plates of steel, all that you can carry, the better to shield them from blade and bullet. If only it were so simple, Master Tatsuranuki. Steel plates are not so easily procured. Blind, deaf, and dumb you are, boy. We are awash in broken steel. Magitech, great cylinders come crashing from the earth from on high. Shatter them to bits with my explosives. Explosives. They will not fail you, for I made them to kill Imperials. Bring me my steel, and you will have your armor. Well, it's not like we know any other armorers who can help. At least we get to blow things up. Excellent, we get to blow things up. Dun, 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 dun. Alright, so we're going this way. So yeah, how's Mega's stream going, Blue? I slipped in there for like a quick moment. It seemed like it was going all right, and then she laughed, and I don't know if she knows this, but if she laughs, the microphone can't handle it, so it starts like doing this, like it's, yeah. I don't know if mine does the same thing. Hang on a second. Let me see what happens if I just jump scare. Sorry for jump scaring, but I needed to see what happened. So yeah, because I should have, hang on a sec. How many things do I have on my microphone, filter-wise? I got a compressor, I got a limiter, so the limiter stops it, so it stops it at like -7 decibels, and has a release of 60 milliseconds. Is it time for arson? It is time for arson. Oh my god, I'm standing right next to the explosives. Please don't let this be a... Cool, it's not a problem. I was worried that I was just going to be blasted back when I use that explosion, but it looks like we're okay, and I can just pick up all this, like, weird metal stuff. It's contained in a big metal thing. A big metal thing. Dun 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 dun. And then I'm guessing we're going to, yep, we're gonna use the makeshift bombs to break another thingy-madiggy. I got the bomb at the ready, because it looks like I can just like drop it on like, you know, that thingy-majiggy there. Also, look! Wolf boys. Look at these wolf boys. Alright, now we're back to exploding things. Give me a second. Here we go. This time, I'm standing a distance away, so the bomb doesn't hurt me. Alright, grab you. Pick it up. Oh, there's 6 pieces I need to pick up? Jesus Christ. So much running around. I want to just take on the Doma Castle and shit. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Bum 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 bum. How's everyone doing this morning or evening? I need to know what people are doing. I need to engage chat. I need to, like, be able to communicate with people. Not bad. Not bad's okay. If it was like, you know, if it was great, however, that would be something else. What would it take for it to go from not bad to great? Besides, you know, money, I guess. You just had Indian for dinner. Ah, neat. I had burgers for lunch. Chicken tikka masala. Okay, that's not Indian. That's British. Chicken tikka masala is not actually like Indian curry. That is a curry made by Britain. It's not like vindaloo or Rogan Josh. That is a made up curry, like butter chicken. Details. It's a valid detail. Thank you very much. It is a valid detail. You don't see me telling you, oh yeah, I had Italian. I went to Domino's. Domino's pizza is not Italian. I wouldn't be like trying to make that shit up. I would just say, I'm having pizza. It was Domino's. There's a zebra on my screen, so pretty good. Excellent, Mighty Fox. Pretty good is pretty good. Now I can give the armor plating back to this man who for some reason has explosives that can, you know, harm Imperials. Eh? Eh? You have the many plates of steel I demanded? Show me. Here you go, 15 armor plates. Read them and weep. Then you are committed to your cause, dressing villagers as soldiers and marching off to war. Stupid, stupid fools. Doma is dead and so are her people. Lord Caden, Lord Hien, all dead. Their blood is on your hands. That's not nice. 'Twas Lord Caen who saved us, who spared us the worst when the Garleans came. Every shred of pride and honor he cast aside, without a second thought, all to win their trust, all to serve as their puppet, restored to his throne years later, a paper tiger. Such shame he must have felt, but no matter. He would suffer it for his people. A life as slaves is better than none at all, he believed, but not for us. After my lady died, we began to whisper in his ears dreams of freedom and liberation. We pushed him to take action, if only a little. 10 years of preparation, of machinations, so careful we would be, and yet Doma burned for our foolishness, not for that of Lord Caen, Monzen, the Enclave. They were raised for our sins. We murdered them all. Don't you see? We murdered their own. You're wrong, Master. We are still here. We are still alive. Lord Caen too lives on, in our hearts, and in his son, for Lord Hien has returned. Lord Hien? Alive? It cannot be. You lie. You lie. It's the truth. Hien came back to Doma to help her fight for freedom. Could it be? My Lord Hien yet lives? Oh. Band of steel to bind the chest and belly. Yes. I must heat the forge and begin work at once. 10? 100? How many do you need? All that and more you shall have. Hell yeah. The crazy fool is now on our side. Thank you for the materia. Bum, bum. Listen. Accept. Even after 25 years of oppression, they still have it in them to stand up and fight. We just have to show them the way forward. Ise and I will stay and help Tatsuranuki finish the armor, so you're no need to wait around. Why not go back to the House of the Fierce? I'm sure there's plenty of work left to be done. Ask about and see what you can find. Yes. Give me a moment, as I'm gonna go over into that area there to free up the map. Look at our big boy! The victory jingle sounds like Deltarune? I've never played Deltarune before. I've not played any of the games of Whatsamahoozy. I've not played Undertale or Deltarune or any of those 2D games. I've not played any of them. I've like heard things about it, but I've not like done anything about it. I've not played or watched a playthrough of them. I know there's like a genocide and a friend path thingy-madiggy, but I've not, you know, I've not like watched like what the difference is between the two paths. Because like one's apparently like friendship and shit, but then the other one is genocide. And it's like, oh, the genocide is the normal way of going through video games because you're being violent towards people you do not know who seem like monsters. Meanwhile, the friendship ending is, or the friendship path is the one where everyone is, you know, trying to attack you and shit, and you have no real good means of defending yourself or something like that. Alright, I think I need to swim here? Yes. Oh my god, my guy is swimming right now. This is hilarious. Oh my god, this is so silly. I love this. I thought I was gonna have him, like, disappear or some shit, but nope, he's just now... yes, show me into the House of the Fierce, please. Thank you. Oh, we've got 2 missions now. One from Kaidit, and then another from... Okay, it looks like there's 3. I'm gonna grab all 3 at once. Everything is in order, sir. Under Lord Gozetsu's sage tutelage, we grow stronger by the day. Oh, we're just talking to people. Okay. I thought we were helping people, but nope, we're just talking to people. Motojiro. Help? No, no, no. I will not impose upon you without cause. Rest assured that everything is in place and everything is fine. Is it really important, though, that I need to play Deltarune or Undertale? Is it really that important? I require no assistance, comrade. Lord Hien's instructions to me were quite clear. I need only transcribe them for the benefit of our Xalia allies. Speaking of Lord Hien, if you are eager to be of service, mayhaps you could seek him out. Keep an eye on him, perchance, should he decide to venture outside. Alright, cool. So now we're talking to this fella. Not really, but it's worth a go. Cool. Awesome. Probably not gonna play.
I don't care what gender you are. Put on the maid outfit.
No! I'm in the maid outfit. What are you doing? Why am I in the maid outfit? Why did you do this to me, furry? This is the maid outfit. Thank you for the hyper himbo. I greatly appreciate it. Let me guess. Someone asked you to act as my protector. Ha! To hear them mutter, one would think I intend to stride up to the castle gates on my own. The truth, of course, is rather less dramatic. I had hoped to look on the castle one last time before the battle. Would you care to join me? You'd be setting a lot of fretful minds at rest. Absolutely. Very good. Then let us depart for Monzen at once. He is not a Hanzo main, he is a Genji main, as he is using a sword, not a bow and arrow. There is a difference between Hanzo and Genji. Although you have to, like, oh my gosh. I don't know if people remember, like, Blizzard was trying to get some brownie points and having people forget the fact that, you know, their workspace was like a hostile environment and a frat party for all the men and was absolutely shit for women. But they tried doing a, this, like, diversity tool or something like that. Like, they showed it on their Twitter or something where they were demonstrating of, yes, look at our Overwatch characters and see how we have demonstrated a greater deal of cultural diversity and inclusion. And it was just like, you know, they got rid of it really quickly because I think Winston and the hamster weren't included. But then there was just like the more like on the nose kind of silliness where it's like, oh yes, your 3 characters from Japan were all just ninjas. Like, screw diversity. Your 3 characters, Genji, Hanzo, and What's-a-Mahuzi, the newest one. I can't remember her name, but all 3 of them were just simply ninjas from Japan. It was just, why? Why did you try to get, yes, diversity is a pinnacle tier in Overwatch? It's like, look, video games can be a lot of things, but if you're trying to do, like, a team, like, if you're trying to do a team-orientated video game, I'm sorry to say, but you can't just grab diversity as your thing. Like, the point of the team is like when you're making team characters and such like that, especially if you need to make characters that are going to be like used commonly in a team or are ones that you need to be able to do callouts for quickly and identifiable without much confusion, more often than not, you're gonna fall down that rabbit hole of, is this profiling or is this just a harmful stereotype? Team Fortress 2 did that. Like, the Doctor is a Nazi with a really thick accent. The Heavy is a Russian that, you know, prioritizes bullets over any kind of intelligence. The Soldier is an American with, like, war crimes in their tone. Scout is a boss, is just, like, some Boston, like, don't give no shit. And then, meanwhile, who else do we have? The Sniper is an Australian / New Zealander. I don't know whether we're sticking to them being a New Zealander or an Australian because of the comics. But yeah, like they've done some very stereotypical shit with TF2. To be fair, the TF2 gang is diverse and funny. Yeah, but what I'm saying is like the diverse bit, like, what definition of diverse? Diverse as in, oh yeah, nationality? Hell the fuck no. It is a majority of Americans, a Russian or 2, no, just 1 Russian, a German, and then Pyro, which we do not know what they are, and then an Australian. Majority of them are white as well, with just, you know, we don't know what Pyro is. Like, I would not put TF2 as being, like, diverse compared to, you know, where Overwatch, like, I would say just by, like, you know, markers and what have you, Overwatch 2 would be seen as quote-unquote diverse as compared to TF2, but neither of them are what I would say as, like, you know, a good sort of diverse. Alright, because, how do I explain this? How do I not get cancelled for this opinion? Hang on. Let me have a think. How do I explain this? Because, like, the diversity that people are after are traits that aren't, like, at the end of the day, like, visually or mechanically speaking, are not normally ones that would be overt, so to speak. Like, overt characters traits are what you look for in team video games and such like that. So then that way it's easy to call out, you know, one kind of character over another. But the diversity that we're looking for in, say, our caricatures and representation, we're not, like, the representation we're looking for them is not the overt characteristics of diversity. Because when you go for only overt, you run this like difficult like line of, you know, is it tasteful representation, or are you playing into a stereotype that can get you, like, you know, it's just seen as insensitive. Monzan was home to many great and powerful families, men of honor, samurai once. Great swaths were raised and people put to the sword. What little remains stands as a testament to what was and what will never be again. So, come, I would take a closer look. Oh, gee, god damn it, Hian. Yeah, I dodged it. So yeah. Apex Legends. Although, yeah, no, I'd put down Apex Legends, actually. I think that would be cool. Apex Legends, I think... Would it be more diverse or less diverse than Overwatch, I wonder? You wouldn't be able to make, like, a spectrum of, like, is something diverse or just stereotypical. Oh, no, maybe you could. Chat is eerily quiet as I unfortunately hit into a very controversial topic. Maybe I need to work on not sending mixed messages. Or maybe it's a Saturday and I really should not be thinking too hard about this kind of stuff. So yeah. Nah, it's just Saturday? Cool. Awesome. So yeah. Would you say Apex Legends is more diverse or less diverse than Overwatch? Because let's be real, like we've got two robots in Apex Legends. We have a non-binary character in Bloodhound. How many robots do we have in... Oh no, we have like at least 3 robots in Overwatch, don't we? Final Fantasy, eh? Hi there, Makeus DJ. Welcome to the stream. Question for you, DJ. Do you know Apex Legends? Follow-up question. Do you know Overwatch? And then follow-up question. Do you think Apex Legends is, like, their roster of characters more diverse or less diverse than Overwatch? You was just playing it? Awesome. Bastions, Zenyatta, Ranmatra, and Orisa. Oh yeah, they're robots. No sentries, at least of the living sort. Those shambling suits of armor have the run of the place. To think this was once a bustling city, so full of life. A river of people with a current all on its own. But even then, the Imperials walked among us. Sometimes openly, sometimes discreetly. But we were always aware of their presence, and we were complicit. He did what he had to do to preserve the peace, to keep our people safe, but at what cost? You reckon Overwatch is more diverse? Huh. Overwater. I got what you meant with Overwater. Forgive me, this is neither the time nor the place for such dark musings, though they did serve to remind me of the barracks which once stood to the west of here, where there may yet be weapons or comrades could use. If you head down that street, past those makeshift barricades, you will come to the ruins. I will search elsewhere. Meet me at the water's edge when you have finished. Okay, cool. So we're just going down memory lane for this man. So yeah. I don't need to fight this person, I don't think, but I'm still going to because I'm only leveled 75 and this thing is 67. We're fast approaching, like, you know, equilibrium in terms of level. I'm amazed that DJ has not questioned why I'm in a maid outfit. Do people just think, oh yeah, it's a himbo, it's in a maid outfit? Don't question it. Himbos just wear maid outfits once in a while. Their tits are so huge, they just feel like they gotta dress up in outfits for girls sometimes. Don't question it. You enjoying this, been thinking about jumping back in? Oh, I have been at this for a...
Sponsored by Gelenda.
Gelenda, thank you for sippy times. Oop. Dodged it. Thank you for the hydrate. Maid outfits are common for the people you follow. Me, Icy, and Kusaki. Yeah, but here's the difference. I don't actually have a maid outfit in real life. I know Kusaki has a real one. I'm like 60 to 90% sure Icy has one in real life. Hang on a second. I can just ask him, do you have a maid outfit? Don't lie. I could not spell lie properly. But yeah, I'm fairly sure Blue has a maid outfit in real life. If I was to get a maid outfit in real life, like, I'm gonna be real with you, chat. I would also want to get tits. I would not wear a maid outfit, you know, just as, like, the body shape that I am right now. I would need to at least buy some, like, boobies or something like that. So then that way I put on the boobies and then put on the maid outfit. So then that way, like, you know, if I had to dress up as a maid, I at least had the boobies for it. So, because I know, you know, some people can pull off the femboy ooh-ooies maid outfit. I can't pull off femboy. I do not have the, I'm not thin. I'm not twink enough. There is some pudge on the belly, and you know, the fact of the matter is that, like, you know, I need to compensate for that with something in the chest area, and I don't have the chest that I do here on my avatar, so I'm gonna need to have to buy some boobs. And I'm pretty sure I can buy them. Why the fuck am I here? What am I looking for here? Am I looking for something? Like, why am I here? Search the ruins for usable weapons. There are no... What weapons? Normalized dad bod maids? Look, it is an avenue and a half. Like, trying to normalize dad bods, okay? Not even dad bods like the dad bod. Like, you're having to try and, like, the dad bod's trying to minimize themselves as well. And what's more is that the dad bod isn't one that's naturally coming about when the person is single. The dad bod is coming in because, you know, you have a partner, and that partner is like, I like you. I can make you a little bit better. Not like better as in the idea of, you know, quote, the woman in the mind is saying, I can fix him, says woman that is obviously worse. More of a sake of like, you know, you're 95% of the way there, 99% of the way there. I just want to give my little extra 1%, and you're just going to be fucking perfect for me. You would be the absolute tippy top, and if you do this for me, I would never leave you for anyone else. Here's what you're gonna do. We're gonna give you a little bit of a belly. I want to hug you, and I want it to be feeling absolutely fantastic. Trade offer. Offer. You get a belly. Pedro Pascal is proving dad bods for us all. Pedro Pascal does not have a dad bod. Okay? Do not give me this line. No. Nuh-uh. No. No, he doesn't. Pedro Pascal does not. You've seen The Mandalorian. You've seen The Last of Us. Pedro Pascal does not have a dad bod. Okay. All right, hang on. No. Hang on. I am going to need to fix this, okay? Hang on. Pedro Pascal, one moment. Hang on. Pedro Pascal, full body. All right. Now. Yeah, you know what? D23, that looks about right. All right. I am going to... What are we talking about? I am educating people on the dad bod, okay? No, furry cures. No, we're not doing squats right now. This is important. Squats. Pedro Pascal, because Maka's DJ was like, oh yeah, normalize dad bods. Pedro Pascal is proving dad bods is for all of us. Look, all right. Control F. This is Pedro Pascal. This is Pedro Pascal, all right? This is not a this is not a dad bod, okay? This is a general body of a man, okay? There is no sure, he exudes dad energy with that shirt tucked into those pants. Like, absolutely, he is exerting dad energy, but that is not a dad bod. Dude, like, that is not a dad bod, all right? Now, give me a second. Give me a moment. There is the McFarlane. Now, there is a TikTok account called the McFarlanes. Now, these McFarlanes, I am going to be real with you, is a different series of dads. I am going to hang on. No, wrong one. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? All right. Let me... So... Hang on. I'm going to get this as like a screenshot. Let me just get this screenshot of... Because you love this, by the way. This energy difference. All right, hang on a sec. So yeah, so Pedro Pascal has dad energy. The dad bod, meanwhile, you know what? Actually, you need this in a video. Give me a second. So I'm gonna delete that image, and then we're gonna go back into playing, showing the main desktop, so I can like demonstrate to you this. This is the, like, this dad. This is a dad with a dad bod, okay? That is a dad bod, okay? Hold on a second, let me find something else. No, not in the Santa suit, that's when you get to let go. Here we go. This is a dad bod. That is not Pedro Pascal, and you are crazy if you're saying that is Pedro Pascal body type. It is absolutely not. Hang on a second. Let me find another one. All right. Like, look at this. Pedro Pascal and Ryan Reynolds, I would say, are in the same realm of, like, dad bod, okay? Or, sorry, not dad bod. They're in the same body type. There is a night and day difference between Ryan Reynolds, who has a similar body shape to Pedro Pascal, and this guy. Like, ugh. There's a huge difference. I will accept Pedro Pascal having dad energy, but I am not a don't you ever say he's sucking it in. It doesn't matter. Look at this. Like, it doesn't matter if he's sucking it in. Like, look at him.
Hello.
Who the fuck is that? There is a, like, hello, how's it going? Hi there, Augusto. I am educating chat on the dad bod. Because someone thought, like, all right, I'm done. I am not going to alter for that. I'm gonna do my 20 squats now. I'm gonna do my 20 squats now to calm myself down, because I'm telling you, like, because DJ in chat said, like, people love the dad bod. Pedro Pascal is you know, promoting the dad bod. He puts it off, and it's like, no, Pedro Pascal does not have a dad bod. He exudes dad energy, but he doesn't have the dad bod. All right. Sorry, I was just really passionate about this. Squats time. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I were to talk in Spanish, I would not understand Spanish. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Damn, you thought it would be a nut sound? It is a nut sound. What are you talking about? Did you get rickrolled instead?
Nut.
See? Nut. There's a small chance you might get rickrolled. But yeah. You got ricked? Lol, you got rickrolled. But yeah, so, excuse me, nose. But yeah, so because DJ was like, oh, Pedro, like, dad bods are great. Pedro Pascal is, you know, got a dad bod. And I'm like, nah. The dad bod, like, he's not. And I had to find another dad bod without, like, just going for a random Google image. And I went for the TikTok account, the McFarlane. I think I agree with you, Grant. Excellent. Yes. You are so passionate about this. Look, like, I just have a big respect for, because when people give the genuine, like, they can appreciate, like, different body types and have an appreciation for it. Absolutely. Does David Harbour count? Ooh. What does he look like now? Hang on a second, because David Harbour in, like, the first season of Stranger Things is very different to David Harbour now. Pre-season 4, early Stranger Things. Okay. Because here's the thing, it's like when, Chris is it Hemsworth? No, it's, when Chris Pratt, like, after his, like after his, you know, popularity in like a comedy or two, and then Parks and Rec, and then he goes into What's-a-Mahoozy Guardians of the Galaxy, like they do a change. Chris Pratt lost a lot of fat for Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes, he did. And then he had to gain some of the fat back when he went back onto Parks and Rec. It's just kind of hilarious. But yeah, I would say... Yes, I would say David Harbour before the second season of Stranger... Because here's the thing, is that he did like a season... Like, he did Stranger Things. Everyone was seeing how amazing of an actor he was. He went into Hellboy. He then got a role as, the Red Guardian as well. The Red Guardian, even though they kind of joke of like, oh, the Red Guardian has put on a few pounds, it's like, the Red Guardian is built. He's built. You can't just do a fat joke with the Red Guardian at the physique he was at. It'd be like trying to call the Mountain, like, having a fat body, and it's like, hell the fuck no, he doesn't. Today you learned dad energy and dad bod is different? Yes. Last one, Seth Rogen. He doesn't exhume the dad energy, but he does have the body. Like, yeah. I would say so. Love the picture you have on your coffee. Wait, my coffee? What? Do I need to change it? Oh my gosh, I totally forgot it's the one with the nipples. Shit. I forgot I still have nipples on that one. But yeah, that's my thoughts on What's-a-Mahoozy in Seth Rogen. He doesn't have the energy, but he does have the body. Alas, I found not of value. Did you? I have found this. A katana. Still sheathed in a scabbard. Though even shielded from the elements, it will need to be cleaned and oiled. I recognize the crest. It belongs to the son of a samurai I trained with when I was young. He never even had the chance to draw it. There she is. Doma Castle. My home. They let us keep her for a time, before gradually moving their fortress across from the Fulmans. Now, her every court and corridor belongs to Yotsuyu. Though father spent much of his time there, I did not. I may only have visited him there on half a dozen occasions. If that, I cannot remember. But I remember the view from the keep. Doma seemed much smaller from there, like you could hold it in your hand. Well, Monzen at the least. Doma is so much more than that there. Beyond the moon gates, onto the shores of the Ruby Sea, and here, in the places that no man can see or touch or take from you. We carry her with us, wherever as we go. Not the land or the soil, but the story. Why am I in a maid outfit? Because someone decided, after winning a prediction poll on one of my matches and got themselves 70,000 channel points, someone thought it would be funny putting the Himbo in a maid outfit. Ignore the lag. And what is life if not a story? The story of our journey from dawn till dusk, day after day. Hey, the story of our mothers and our fathers, our families and our friends, our people and our nation. I think a part of me understood that when I looked out from the keep, Hien, Sword of Cayenne, another caretaker of the story of Doma. It's a fine castle, truly, with an even finer view, but in the end... Kami, strike me down. How could I be so blind? We must return to the House of the Fierce at once. Yeah, you're right. It is lagging for a bit. I do not fully understand why, and it's rather worrying. I am probably going to have to close down a few things. One moment, please. Closing this. Opening this. Maybe I can get away with just closing Chrome right now. Close Chrome. And then... Ding. Dong. Close this. Close that. No, shut up, Siri. How are we now? We're good? Hopefully we're still good. I have had what can only be described as a revelation. Ours is an excellent plan, but not so excellent that it cannot be improved, and I know how. Dun, 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 dun. Better now? Excellent. So yeah, the CPU is on its way here. It's just gonna take a little bit of time because rather than having the money for the CPU and still a bit laggy though, you might need to refresh the page so then that way it updates. I'll wait a few seconds because right now it's saying it's taking an average of like 1.5 milliseconds to render a frame. So I might just need to close a few more things. Hang on a second. Close out of that. Quit out of that. Exit out of that. Exit out of that. Alright, let's have a look. How much of my CPU is being used right now? 100% of my CPU right now. That's not too great. 92%, 89, 88. It's going down, 87. Discord is still using like 2% or so. Ah. Why is Microsoft compatibility telemetry? Why is that using end task? It's using like 10% of my CPU right now. Maybe restart the PC. I only have the one PC, so if I restart it, there's no stream for a while, and I'm not exactly about to do that, I'm sorry to say. Let's have a look. Is there anything else I could stop? Could stop that. Alright, quit out of... Damn it, it won't let me quit out of NVIDIA Broadcast. Alright, that's the most I can get out of right now. There may still be a little bit of lag, but if you restart your PC... sorry, not restart your PC. If you refresh your browser, you should be okay now. Just need to remember not to run any advertisements or anything like that anytime soon. God damn, even my GPU is now getting a lot of usage. Like, where is it getting it from? Let's see. Final Fantasy is now down at 8%. OBS is at 20. Unity is at... Okay, hang on a second. I need to... settings, general... Hide the avatar. Will that do it? 5.4%. Alright, hopefully... Disables means no face movement and save CPU. I've tried it to refresh the side and all is well. Okay, cool. Thank you, Galen. come around more to the streams, but your streaming schedule is not good in my time zone. For example, now it is 7 a.m. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Augusto. That's why I do the Sunday streams, where it starts like 10 a.m. my time. So instead of it being like, I'm trying to think, timing-wise, okay, so going for 2 hours, it would be, oh, wait, no, that's not really good for you either, because if it's 7 a.m. right now, it would then be like, you know, flipping the hours around, because right now it's 8 p.m. for me. You're basically like 12 hours the other way around. So it would be, so my 10 a.m. for you would be like 10 or 9 p.m. for you instead. That's not great. Darn. That's not great at all. On second thought, Grant, I ask that you return to the House of the Fierce without me, and tell Alphanaut to call the others together for a meeting. It is imperative that the Kojin emissary be in attendance as well. I shall join you anon. Alright, grab this mount. I'm 11 hours ahead or behind. You would most likely be 11 hours behind then. Because because I'm Greenwich Mean Time plus 10. So you would most likely be Greenwich Mean Time -1. Oh, it's doing that thing again. Weird. It's not great at all. Oop. Pfft. There we go. Now I'm through the hole. Oh, nope, 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 nope. Yep, okay, so I need to go into the hole, and then I'll be able to, like... Meow. There we go. So, yeah. Yeah, neither of the times I'm streaming would be good for you, then. Because, like, starting 6 p.m. for me is, like, 5 a.m. for you. 10 a.m. for me would be 9 p.m. for you. Jesus. Fuck. That's not great. But 9 p.m. is okay. But 9 p.m., like, normally 9 p.m. for me, I'm on my way to sleep in, like, you know, an hour by then. I'm not going to be watching, like, I don't, like, how do you get away with it? Lord Hien wishes to discuss the details of our plan? Very well. If he insists, I shall summon the others at once. As for the Kojin, I believe one of their emissaries was already en route. Nevertheless, I shall contact them to make certain. You sleep at 2 a.m. and you wake up at 6, a 4-hour sleep? You need more than 4 hours of sleep, Augusto. You need to hear this from someone. You need more than 4 hours. Also, game, are you okay? Or is it...
May I present the Blue Kojin's emissary?
Greetings and well met, old friends. The Elder sends his regards.
Soroban, it's good to have you with us.
Hello. I kind of forgot about this Ninja Turtle.
If you might humor me. Thank you for coming, Soroban. Doubtless you have already been informed of our plans and the role we would have your people play. However, I seek your counsel as a Kojin of the Blue. Be it by spell or siegecraft, could your forces destroy the underwater foundations of Doma Castle's outer wall?
The what?
Explosives coupled with a few incantations. Yes, that might produce sufficient force. Such a thing could indeed be done.
You think you'll let me have a nice stream? Thank you. Well, not to worry, Augusto. Sorry for, you know, all the weird wobbliness. Like, look at all this wobbliness. But I hope you have a good sleep. I hope you rest easy.
Then I wish to revise the plan. Instead of assisting the Confederacy in securing the Enclave, I would have the Kojin advance upstream beneath the water and breach a segment of the outer wall.
Huh.
I mean to flood Doma Castle.
That is a bit excessive, good sir.
My lord, the castle is a sacred symbol, the very heart of our nation. To destroy it is unthinkable, unconscionable. You cannot do this.
I can and I will if it improves our chances. By flooding the castle, we remove the better part of their forces from the field and force Yotsuyu to retreat to the highest levels of the keep. Tell me that is not a worthwhile trade.
That does not sound like a worthwhile trade. We're flooding a keep. Like, how do we know it's, you know, gonna actually stop at the point you want it to?
Your father and his father before him. I say to you again, it is the heart of our nation.
It can't be the heart of our nation anymore, I don't think, while we have, you know, invaders invading in it.
Stone walls do not a nation make, my friend. Her people do. And as long as we yet live, we can rebuild.
I think I know what I need to do to improve it, because I'm just looking at like my stats right now, and I'm seeing like 90. I'm seeing like 90% of my stats, like, or 90% of frames getting skipped due to encoding lag. Give me a second. What would I need to? What's the reason for encoding lag? Hang on a second. Continue in browsing. Close. Close. Encoding lag OBS. What part? If you see encoding, your CPU is probably choked on the encoding. Consider turning down video settings. Scaling down. You're telling to shrink the video before sending it to the encoder, thus putting less pressure on the... Oh, okay. Hang on a second. Reduce your output resolution. Let's see. Oh, video, sorry. So my output resolution is 1920 by 1080. But I'm telling the streaming output to be 720. Which is using a lot of resources for a very dumb idea. By scaling, you're telling to shrink before sending it to the encoder, thus putting less pressure on your CPU. Your layout stays the same as you do not change the base canvas resolution. The downscale filters you see, yep. But uses more resources. Try different filters. The frame rate parameter controls the number of frames. I'm keeping it to 30. Encoder preset. I've had it... I'm using the NVENC encoder, so it should use that instead of... But if I'm still using encodering enabled on AMD, Intel, and NVIDIA GPUs, deliver lower quality than 264 for the same bitrate, but they unburden your CPU by taking on part of its encoding load. Okay, so they don't take on the entire coding load. They just take on a little bit. They took on some of the encoding load. NVENC is very close in quality to 264 on the very fast preset. AMF renders significantly less well. Well, I'm not using AMF, I'm using NVENC. 264 and NVENC don't use GPU computing resources because 264 runs on the CPU, and NVENC has a dedicated circuit on the GPU chip that runs only for encoding and has no other purpose. So you won't see encoding lag from the high GPU load with either of these. Cool. The quick sync encoder is as good as NVENC for recording, provided you set it up properly. Check your recording sources. Close additional programs in the background. Free up disk space. Ah. Well, OBS is already above normal. Turn game mode off. You better not have turned on. Why is no, turn off game mode. Jesus Christ. All right. Now we can move on. Let's see how the stats are.
I see that you are resolved, Lord Hian, and I would not presume to gainsay your decision.
Neat.
I will inform the Elder of your revised stratagem and instruct our sappers to make ready.
Our preparations are all but complete. Once we receive word from our Kojin allies, we shall set our plans in motion. We shall fight, and we shall prevail.
Still getting a few skipped frames, unfortunately. But yeah, an update on the CPU. It's not coming until like mid-May, unfortunately. Because rather than, you know, setting up the throne thing to be like a payout to me once I reach the full funds, I had it going directing into an Amazon item. So then that way the purchase was done like, you know, the minute the funding was done. This is okay with most Amazon items, but not for an Amazon item where the CPU is over in the UK. You never got the appeal of maid outfits? Well, the maid outfit on the dude may not be a valid, like, you know, appeal. I don't know why people want to see dudes in maid outfits, but the reason I can imagine people wanting to see women in maid outfits is because they got like a boobie window. And there's just some primal thing about seeing not the entire boobie, but some of the boobie. No plan is perfect, and there is ever room for improvement. I expect my comrades will be refining their approach until the moment they begin. In case you are unaware, blue, 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 blue. You have a maid outfit IRL like Kusaki, don't you? Right? I'm waiting on this answer, Blue. Fucking called it! Yes! I was 60 to 90% sure. So, because Alvirus was saying, like, you know, all the different peeps that they follow have maid outfits. Me, Kusaki, and Blue. And I countered of, like, well, I don't have a maid outfit IRL. And then I was like, and then I had a moment of like, wait, does Blue actually have a maid outfit? I'll at him. All right. In case you are unaware, the other Yoni... I've read Naruto. I know how to say this word. Okay, so you got your Genin, you got your Chunin, you got your Jonin. The other Jonin will lead the assault on the Moon Gates. Not I. My place is at Lord Hian's side. Cool. I know words. I know how to read some of these words. I've read manga. Yes, Jonin. Jonin. If there's nothing else, I'll head back to Name. Tatsurannuki's working hard and he's doing what he can to help. But maybe there's more that I can do too. He was like a different person when he began hammering those plates. Younger, brighter, full of life and hope. Harder, better, faster, stronger. Bum 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 bum. Blue, by the by. While you are joining, I'm upgrading again. Why are you doing this? Why do you keep doing this, Blue? Stop upgrading your decks! Stop it! Stop! You don't need to keep upgrading your decks. Oh, this is the old angry face. I need to improve my angry face. The plan is set. All that can be done has been done. Rest and relaxation are now paramount. For tomorrow, we may die. Have you two not done enough? Will you not pause a moment to gather yourself on the eve of our grand design? Go not onto battle with weary eyes or lingering regrets, my friend. Hi there, Velk. Hi there, Zapper. Happy time zone. I am stuck in a maid outfit because furry cures decide to put me in a maid outfit. How much longer am I in this maid outfit for? Hang on a second. Cues. Where's my cue? Where's my timed actions? Cool, the timer is still running on my zebra on the classic zebra outfit. Thank you for the hyper himbo. What do you want? I already asked my question about the maid outfit thingy-majiggy Blue. Oh, follow-up question. Would you say the Apex Legends the roster of characters, would you say they're more or less diverse than the Overwatch roster? Soroban informs me that his sappers will be ready within the day, which means that we can proceed as planned and attack Doma Castle tomorrow. Considering the key role you will play, I think it only prudent that you refrain from further labors and rest until tomorrow's. Agreed? Far be it from me to refuse. You can't answer that question because you play neither game? How the fuck have you played neither game? Like, one of them is free, both of them are free to play now. And besides, like, there is so much porn from Overwatch. Like, fun fact, but some people have told me this. I need to do, like, a deep dive on this, but apparently a lot of the technologies and animation advancements for the Overwatch characters and what have you... Oh, Jesus. Look at that scan. Maybe I need the scan to go faster instead. Or do I need it to go... No, I think I need it to go... Is it faster or slow? I think it's... No, I think it's slower. But, where was I in my train? Oh, yeah. The animation, like, technology and techniques, like, for models and the rigging and what have you, for Overwatch. Cookie for DJ Atomica. There's an advertisement. I'm gonna just wait a little bit before I, like, share my little tidbit of knowledge.
You're awake. I was just, well, they threw me out, actually. Told me I needed to get some sleep. Ready for the big day.
Cool. All right, advertisement is done. All right. So, the technology and animation and rigging in Overwatch, it has to, like, you know, take its credits from the fact that there were a lot of, like, porn artists for BioShock Elizabeth. Because apparently people really liked Elizabeth from BioShock. And they started making 3D art of Elizabeth. And then they started making 3D animations. And they wanted to improve the quality of those animations. So there was a lot of techniques and a lot of things done to this particular model of Elizabeth that's being shared around the 3DX community. I know who to ask. Hang on a second. I know exactly who to ask. I've talked to them on the Discords. They could, like, probably send... Why do people credit BioShock Infinite's Elizabeth for the animation / rigging in Overwatch? They're probably going to be really confused. The last time I spoke with them... Oh, it was February. Okay, so it was actually fairly recently. I'm just talking to this person who's done 3D stuff, and I'm like, hey, you know about this kind of topic. Why did they... Like, why is Overwatch, like, giving their thanks to Elizabeth from BioShock Infinite for their advances in this? Hey, you're finally awake. There is definitely more porn in Overwatch, so it must be more diverse. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, but I feel like the reason for that is because it's been a lot easier to, like, extract. There's more sexy people in Overwatch, is my first thought. Because not only do you have, like, the classic Widowmaker, you have a diverse number of like, you know, Overwatch heroes to choose from as, like, your sexy partner. Like, Mei is like the go-to option for that chonk. He's out of line, but he's right. Exactly. Oh yeah, this is a thingy. I don't have to say anything.
Not long now, eh? I'm nervous, of course, but I also feel like I didn't know where I was going, but maybe finally.
Oh, DJ Tomika. Yes, we're going through more of the Stormblood quest line. I don't know how many more missions I have to go before we finally get to, like, a quest where we're actually doing dungeons and shit, but I'm trying to get through there.
Something's gonna change, you know? Really, really change. And when the dust has settled, we'll see what we've won and what we've lost. I'm going to give it my all tomorrow. Everything I've seen and felt, I won't let it be for nothing.
Good.
Right. Off to bed. Don't want to overdo it, and neither should you.
If it's soon? I don't know how soon it is, unfortunately.
Oh,
I don't know how soon it is to the particular quest in question.
Quietly, of course.
Stormblood quests. Stormblood main scenario quests. Let me have a look. Oh my god. Oh, look at them. You don't think that they're just fucking Redditors.
Another restless soul. Come, come. Raise a glass to freedom.
Freedom! If I can, I would salute. Hang on a sec. I'll try my best. We're having a drink for freedom.
Good.
Okay, I think my bit's over. Never mind.
His thoughts on the matter?
Ah, that's enough, Gosetsu. You'll not convince anyone with your drunken ramblings. We've talked about this, all of us. We are flooding the castle tomorrow, and that's the end of it.
We didn't talk about this. You talked about this.
I know. I accepted your decision, and I do not intend to go back
speaking
on
of
my
Hamilton.
word.
Speaking of Hamilton.
As the battle draws near, I cannot help but recall our many travails, and it fair compels me to speak.
Speaking of Hamilton, it's my sister's birthday today, and normally my sister does, hey, I'm back in my normal outfit. Normally my sister will do a birthday at the same time as her daughter because they have similar birthdays. But I have got myself a birthday gift for her, and tomorrow evening we're going to go read Hamilton. Or sorry, not read, sorry. We're going to go watch Hamilton. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be great. Happy birthday, Grant's sister. I will be sure to tell them. Also, I need to figure out, like, what mission we're at here. Because we've already done the House of Fierce.
In all my time serving as a leader of men, there are two failures which haunt me to this day. The first, a defeat at the hands of the Empire 25 years past, and the subsequent imprisonment of your father. Long did I consider offering up my life in atonement, until Lord Kyan, allowed at last to receive visitors, called for me, of all people, for my unborn child, he said. For my dearest Shun.
Why you gotta hit me?
My second failure, of course, was the betrayal of that self-same command. When in the rebellion I failed to protect not only Lord Kyan, but Lord Hien too.
Wait, is that not Lord Hien right there?
That I yet live, having known such disgrace, is an affront to the Kami themselves.
You might need to refresh your page code, because I was dealing with some weird encoding delays on my side. So, yeah, fun times.
Yet you, all of you, saw fit to grant this shameful creature, this failure, another chance to serve a greater purpose.
Well, of course. Just because you fail sometimes doesn't mean that you are condemned for life. Code! For this failure, Code, I now condemn you for life. But yeah, back to what I was talking about with Gozetsu. You don't have to be condemned for life for, you know, making a few mistakes. Now, sure, you might want to, like, gauge how big of a mistake it was, but let's be real. In the realm of, what's-a-mahoozy, in this, like, whole general fighting a rebellion and shit and doing it against a greater force and such like that, so long as he always, you know, has the desire and the drive to fight for his people, I think it's worthwhile allowing the chances to be given to him, like second, third, fourth, however many chances after failures.
Thank you for pitying an old fool.
Yeah, not to worry.
Now, it is far too soon for that. Save your tears for the morrow. You may be sure we will have ample cause to shed them, be they for joy or despair.
Will do.
Even that sounds morose. We who yet walk the path should not think too much on the destination. When the hour arrives, we shall welcome what comes with open arms.
Ow!
He is right about
why.
One thing, though. We have you and yours to thank for this chance. All debts will be repaid. On that you have my word. But first we must live past tomorrow, no?
Yes, because apparently we have a castle to flood. This dude wants to flood a castle.
If you have no intention of sleeping, Yugiri, you may as well join us.
Lol. She's an absolutely terrible ninja if she's being spotted by random people.
Forgive me, my lord. I did not mean to... if that is your will.
Dun 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 dun. The die is cast. Alrighty, so that's the mission we're about to play. That one we have to go into Doma Castle, I believe. So, is Velk still here? If it's soon, want me to log in and assist? I would appreciate it. There he is. I trust you are none the worse for wear after last night. We received confirmation from the Kojin not long ago. Their sappers stand at the ready and await our signal. Let us not keep them and the others waiting. Gather your things. We depart at once. Alphanod, instruct Liss and the others to move into position and launch their attack. Our scouts report no change in the Imperial's deposition, but I would leave nothing to chance. We must act quickly. Understood. I will relay your orders to her and rejoin my unit. Gozetsu and Yugiri await the two of you at Monzen. Good luck, my friends. I will see you both again soon. Dun 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 dun. Alrighty then. I am going to get out my mount. I would greatly appreciate it, Velk. Meow.
Understood. Wish us luck.
Excuse me.
Right. You all know what you have to do. Are you ready?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Ready to show them what a good job they made of breaking us.
So many people are about to die, I imagine.
Then what are you waiting for? Move out!
Why must we waste our time guarding this blasted...
Prepare to get fucked by villagers. Wow, the kid gets a bow while everyone else gets gardening tools.
Luminous is under attack! Armed insurgents have breached the perimeter! We need reinforcements!
This is Lee's. Imperial forces converging on our position. Looks like we've got their attention. We'll be sure to keep them busy for as long as we can.
Sounds good to me. Hello. Hang on, I need to turn on a source. There we go.
Okay, there we go. Yep.
Excellent, I can hear you.
That's a shame.
To wield power to make men kneel before you, there is no better feeling.
Magnai just having a hard-on for war.
A pity I must share this pleasure with a feral dog of a Dothal.
Preening, Oronir! You fear that you will put the sun in shade? Those are for you. Go, claim your prey.
I thought he was gonna like actually perfectly slice it in half or something, not just, you know, let it explode.
Come to me! Come to your death! With each that falls, my soul soars higher!
Oh yeah, I can actually share my stream here, so then that way you have an idea of where I am.
Swiftly, brothers! Fall not behind! Make an offering of their steel to Father Azim!
They seem to be enjoying themselves.
Wait, when did it start raining? Did it rain for you when you played?
I don't believe so, but I don't know though.
Hmm.
That it should fall so soon! Truly, our allies seem determined to surpass each other.
Hell yeah.
The Magitech field is down. I repeat, the Magitech field is down. Confederate vessels, you are clear to advance upon the Enclave.
And that's now Doma Castle flooding.
The wall is breached. The Kojin 2 will not be outdone.
Our allies have set the stage. Now we must take the castle. With me!
Ooh. Hi there, Z-Doggo. Not to worry, if you have to rest, you have to rest.
My lady, the riverside wall has been breached. The lower levels are already flooded and the water is still rising.
So I gathered. You would tear the whole thing down, all for the promise of freedom. A noble sacrifice, or the last desperate flailings ever fought. Speaking of which, how fares my brood?
The procedure was carried out as instructed by Lord Aulus. By all indications, it was a success.
Is that so? Then he may yet be of some use. Devotees of vengeance should rightly pursue their cause unto the bitter end, don't you think? Their hearts aflame with passion,
so close to 69% there's a doggo.
Embers fizzle and fade. The Viceroy's orders were clear. If Doma falls, none shall be spared his wrath. Tell the men to fight as if their lives depend on it. Because they do.
As you command, my lady.
I really do not care for her.
Again they come to make you kneel. To make you grovel and suffer. But you have endured their worst and survived. You know their tricks. They will not find a flower simply waiting to be plucked.
Aye, there can be no doubt. The Viceroy is trapped, and so comes this part. Our Kojin allies will deliver us to our destination, to the Western Dock. And do not forget to bring your fellow adventurers, Grant. Awesome.
Both of these nuts.
Hi there, Ox. Thank you for hitting the nut button. Ooh, Velk, you've played Overwatch, right?
Yes.
Have you played Apex Legends?
No.
Damn. Have you played Team Fortress 2?
Yes.
Would you say Overwatch is more or less diverse in their roster compared to Team Fortress 2?
I couldn't tell you much of Team Fortress 2. Or
Damn.
Overwatch, for that matter.
Damn. Wait, how are we supposed to get to here? Did they just want us to, like, swim here, or was I meant to, like, take a
I downloaded Apex.
Sorry, did you say something?
Huh?
There was, like, a lot of noises that went off at the same time. So I wasn't too sure if you said something or not. Oh, there you are! You're just fishing right now.
Well, now's as good a time as any.
Just unique thingamadiggies, right? Actually, can I even catch something from here? Hang on, let me see. Let's see, level 50. Live bait for ocean. I'm thinking this is fresh water. Alright, let's see. Will it even let me try to catch something, or is this too high of a level? Let's see. It's probably not gonna let me catch anything. Nope. Alright. Back to the Dark Knight we go. Oh yeah, before I forget, visor. That way it, you know, I don't have my eyes covered when it does all the cool stuff. Cool flower. Greetings and well met, my friends. Climb aboard, climb aboard. There is room enough for us all. Grant, that we might improve our odds of success, we will divide into 2 parties upon arrival. One comprising you and your adventurer comrades, the other Gozetsu, Yugiri, and myself. Each will enter the keep via a separate route, dispatching any Imperial forces that attempt to bar their path. Even should one meet with misfortune, the others will reach Yotsuyu. Agreed. Yes, agreed. Then let us be about it. Fodoma! Do you have a soundtrack going or something? I keep seeing song titles pop up in the corner. Oh yeah, I've got, like, Twitch soundtrack is a play... I have that playing whenever I go into, like, just chatting or something or rather, so right now the music is paused. Unless it isn't paused. Hang on a second. Big Bad Archimedes, thank you for the follow. Hang on a second. I'm probably just going to have to press... There we go. Pause. Alrighty. I need to quickly add you into the party. Cookie for Sky. Welcome, welcome. Alrighty. Enter Doma with a party. Alrighty. Let's see how we go. Do we get the insta-queue?
Oh, I want a refund.
Why do you want a refund?
What's my instant queue?
I don't know why. I don't know why, it's just...
Let me check GD Finder. Yeah, it says that we need healers. Level DPS.
Like... Weird. What's the thingy hang on. We should be able to find 2 DPSs in, like, no problem. Like... Yeah, duty roulette for like the different level dungeons wants a healer, leveling wants a healer, trials wants a healer, the main scenario wants a tank, alliance raids want DPSs for whatever reason, and then normal raids want a tank.
Alliance raids is fair because I think they need 15 DPS. Yes, 15 DPS for that to pop.
Okay. So it's just a pure numbers. There just, you know, isn't that many.
Yeah.
And then 4 other parties recruiting. Wow. Yeah. Oh, I need to find a TikTok so I can link it to you. Cause it popped up on my queue and it was actually like it was a relatively funny one. Because it's just like, oh, you know the Alexandrite raid, don't you? And it's just like me jamming to the tunes.
Oh yeah, especially with T, because they make that soundtrack so much better.
It's just a real bop. All right, where is it? Should be nearby.
Oh, we just need one more DPS.
Oh hell yeah. Is that jam? Oh yeah, I need to share this one with Blue at some point, just because it's an evolution and it's funny. And then...
There we go.
Oh! Yeah! Alright, now to do my regular spiel of like, hi, I'm gonna do my best to tank. I am just streaming, right? Oh wait, we're probably not in the thingamadiggy, are we?
No. Yeah, like, of course someone's called that.
Thankfully, chat can't see my chat log, but yes, there is someone from Sephiroth named Ligmaballs. Alright, where is my grip? There we go. Oh, that's a cool, adventurer card.
I've personalized all of them.
That's cool. I will be real with you, however. My first thought is you're holding out a Chucky milk or something like that as a meme.
No taking mine.
No taking what?
No taking it, it's mine.
It's yours? Okay, I'll go back into the VODs and I'll just Photoshop a Chucky milk in there or something. There we go.
Lovely architecture.
I love the tunes. Oh, that was good. Nice coffee? Well, no, because the meme code is that you're holding out a glass of chalky milk. Like, it wouldn't make any sense if he was holding, like, an ice break or something.
This is coffee. Bad taste.
But there's so many coffee connoisseurs in Australia.
Yeah, and they're all wrong.
Wow, those are some strong words.
Like, the best hot drink you can do is either tea or hot chocolate.
Okay, like, my counter for, like, you know, not going for coffees most of the time is, like, unless you go for, like, the iced variant, there isn't much point in, like, all the different diversity of, in whatsamahoozy, in, the different coffees. Because most of them are, like, you know, the espresso shots or something or rather, where they want all these different kinds of what's mahuzi, like portions of the coffee and the milk and what have you, and it's like, whereas if you want iced, it's like, oh, you know, equal shots coffee to milk, and then they just add the ice. Oop.
I'm reminded of that ad. Low fat, no fat, full cream, high calcium, high. Why do I remember that? What's wrong with me?
Or just extra dollop.
Yeah, that's the one. Why did?
Look, sometimes you just want milk that tastes like real milk. And also, that's the point of advertisement. I hope you realize it.
Yeah, but no, illegal.
No, illegal. How dare advertisement give me a catchy tune?
They don't make them like that anymore, thankfully.
No, I reckon they still make them memorable. It's just, you have to compete for memorable now. It's not like back in the day where you just needed to come up with a jingle like 1300 6555 06. The reading writing hotline. Hopefully I'm putting this in a good position and that's not going to be a problem. Yep. Oh, there's some weird shit. What's with the bombs? Oh, okay, cool. So it's just an easy dodge. I was worried I had to, like, also put a hit on them or something like that.
I was actually just being a smart ass, but no, I'm right.
Cool, you just had to dodge him. Oh Jesus! They made the thingy-majiggy tighter, and then yay! Yeah. Read on all that shit. What? I'm trying to... It's been a long time since I've actually listened to advertisements, like, on Australian channels and such, because I don't really watch TV unless I'm at work.
Yeah, TV's a little boring.
Yeah. Like, the closest I can probably think of is maybe the Step 1 underwear advertisement, where it's like, Step 1? Slaps the thighs, get some.
What? Okay.
You've never seen the Step 1 advertisement?
No.
Features 1221 thinks you should do 20 squats.
Oh, did the stun work?
Yeah, the stun worked.
It's just so, like, intermediate on, like, the things that actually are affected by stun that I'm like, oh, sometimes I don't bother.
Bosses, none of them will, the stun will not work on any bosses post level 50.
Okay.
The reason why stuns won't work in here is because I'm usually spamming Holy just to explore.
Yeah. There we go.
Let's go.
I'm just gonna pass on these things, honestly. Oop. different. You okay?
That's actually extremely optimal, and you didn't know how good of a thing it just was.
Was it just the fact that I was able to like pull them and it was like, oh, not only did they like, you know, pull away and all that kind of stuff, just like, oh, they're also in the path of the what's-a-mahoozies.
Oh, it's not so much that, it's that before the place that we were at is very tight and they do AoEs. So what you did here was actually very optimal.
Because rather than having it like in front of the turrets and like minimal, it's over here where we have like a lot more room to maneuver.
Yeah.
Okay. It just, I don't know, just clicked.
Break its legs.
Awesome. Here we go. Group up for that one.
You get no spoilers from me.
Well, I feel like it's, you know, remembering the mechanics descriptors. Because, like, there's ones where it's like the arrow thingy-majiggy, like, it's like a crest or something on you. Like, that one I think you spread out. Like, you don't want to have any intersecting circles or anything like that. Oh, that's a little too close for comfort. What about that weird pillar there?
As long as there is a person standing in it, everything is fine.
Okay.
If there isn't, that's a problem.
Noted.
Wow, this is actually a lot faster to kill than what you usually get.
Oh, that's good.
Because there was meant to be about 2 or 3 of those towers.
Oh. Ninjas.
No, shadows.
Another name for ninjas. Like the British calling every dish from India curry. Yeah, no, that's the thing. Rather than like actually like categorize them properly or anything like that, they just named nearly every single one of their foods a curry. And then let's see if I can... Because there's... I'm imagining there's more here. Ah, nope, there isn't. Thought there would be, but there isn't.
For every other pull, you are correct. Just not this one.
Darn. Oh, well, there's this guy, but he wasn't going to come in until after the door. Look at me doing all this work. Oh, shadows. There we go. Here we go. Pugilist arms, pass. Wait, they have chainsaws in this world? Is that the Rogadin that we've been facing off like time and time again, now stuck in a suit of armor?
Grinwald?
I think that's his name. I don't know. He's just always like the bitchy Rogadin that like runs away after like thinking he, you know, totes a big game.
Yeah, that's the one.
Rip and tear!
Yeah, Grinwald. And he's doing a fucking Doom reference as well. Rip and tear. Oh.
Oh, you don't need to worry about it.
We go together!
Uh-oh. What the fuck are these spinning things?
Die, die, die!
Okay, so we want to go approximately here, I would say. Because that should be an okay sort of distance.
Die, die, die! We go together!
Yeah, we go that fast.
Woo! That was fast. Like, because like when you said on the first one, it didn't feel that fast. But with this one, it's like, it certainly felt it, because it was like around about the second, because I thought the rule of 3 kind of thing for a bit, especially with his like whole someone gets indicated for a bomb or something like that, and then, yeah.
Yeah, he has other quotes that we sort of missed out on.
Hmm. So.
Like, you will die, and he just gets more and more desperate. And...
Okay. So, I thought the Rip and Tear was like a good obvious one from Doom. Oh hey, they defeated her.
Have you aught to say for yourself? For what you have done to our people? Your people?
Ooh, we get to
My
hear.
people, he says. The precious lordling beloved by all come to confront the wicked witch.
Hello.
My parents taught me no better. They
Hello.
worked me from dawn to dusk like an ox or an ass or some other beast of burden. Until, that is, my brother spied a chance to transform the family fortunes. And so I was married to a vicious old drunk, who beat me as he pleased. And when I pleaded for help, I was told to grin and bear it. For the family, for him, for everyone's sake. They pretended not to notice, but they knew. They knew. What did it matter? I was nothing to them. Less than nothing. I wasn't of their flesh. I wasn't a fellow Domon. I wasn't even a person. I might just as well have been dead.
Cool motive. You were still a bitch.
And then my husband passed away one day. And so I was sold off yet again to pay his debts. But this time, I found a way to live for myself. To survive. As a spy for the Empire.
Cool tracker, though.
Oh, Those were the days when the scales first fell from my eyes. No longer would I be a slave to my parents or my husband or the pleasure house. I would be free and receive due compensation.
Still a problem. Like, sympathy to her for, like, dealing with a shitty family and a shitty husband, but I'm not normally gonna agree with people to be like, ah, yes, this treatment that has been done upon me can now be done equally upon others, but now with me in control. It's like, no. Not good. That's not what we want to have changed. We'd rather remove such, you know, evils of the world, not return it onto others.
That would be enough, I thought. Until I saw a doorman in the road, beaten and broken. And my heart skipped a beat. Lying at my feet, groaning in agony, sobbing in despair. Powerless, helpless, hopeless. A vision forever seared into my soul. Oh! There was nothing I would not do to feel that joy again. To bend this cruel, twisted world to my whims. Now, having borne witness to my life's work, have you aught to say to me?
You're absolutely crazy. Lock her up. She's fucking nuts. She's just nutty. Nuh-uh. So why is my...
'Twas kind of you to lend me your ear, my lord. But now it is time for us to conclude our little tete-a-tete with a final game of chance.
Why is she like this? Why are you just...
Who shall stand, and who shall fall? Let the die be cast.
I am going to put the gamble that it is going to be me, as I am the Warrior of Light, and you are currently unarmed, and we win time and time again. You're welcome to bet against us,
This was our plan from the first, to bring the keep down on our heads!
Oh, come on. Shit! Damn!
I will remember your words. We must flee. Order our forces to withdraw.
Absolutely. Great idea. We'll do so as soon as I can. Oh, are we just holding up the fucking cast? No, we're not. Okay, cool. I thought they were just gonna give us like a power boost at that moment, but I guess not. Oh, they're giving Gozetsu the power boost.
Oh, you've lifted harder.
Has he?
No, my lord! While you still can! I cannot hold it forever!
Remember that sword? In that one trial?
No! We will not leave you behind!
No.
Do your duty! Deliver Lord Hien and the others to safety! Now! Forthwith!
Oh my god, is the woman still alive? Oh, god damn it. Does she just really not appreciate the likelihood that she could have survived if she just left him be? Also, that should have been a single fire flintlock. Why in the hell is there multiple bullets in that style of a gun?
No. No one leaves. Not you or anyone else.
"'Tis naught this old frame cannot bear. Go now, all of you! The day is won, and the morrow beckons."
Hell yes, Gozetsu.
Do not despair, my friend. Never before have I felt so alive. My eyes unclouded, my purpose clear. This is right.
You have been shot. You should not be like saying this is the most alive you have ever been. Also, Aru, it's most likely other people have been buffering as well because small issues here and there.
You served my father faithfully, and I am a better man for your guidance. And the Doma we build together shall be better for it too.
Sounds good to me.
Be proud, my friend. Be proud.
I am, Shun. More than you know.
Hien! Hien!
Oh yeah, I still have it as ARU instead of ACU. That's what I need to have changed. Give me a moment. ACU. Aku. I don't know why. It still had it as Aru instead of... I should have changed it like I said I should have yesterday.
You cast the die. Gambling was never my vice.
Impressive.
How merciful the gods that I should find you in time. Kasetsu? We must turn back now before it is too late.
It's already too late, I'm sorry to say.
Eyes forward, Cyrano. That was his wish.
I am really hopeful Lord Hien isn't going to turn into like some, you know, warmongering and like ruthless sort of lord. Yay, mission complete. I see, and that's it. That's all Alpha Nod had to say when we finally got back to him. Alright, so how many more missions would I have after... So I have... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more missions. And then... Another 20. Alright, so I got 29 more missions before I'm done with Stormblood's main quest line. Oh my goodness.
And then it gets real good and doesn't stop.
What, like Black Clover, where it's just like like it just keeps scaling up, and you're just like, how in the world do we go further? And it's like, oh, this is how you go further.
Sure.
Amazing. Okay, hopefully Alphanod's mission has us going back to the, like, one of the Aetheryte areas. Because I imagine this one's just like a tone down of, like, running to somewhere else. Thank you. The occupation is ended, then, and the people must be informed of our victory. But I will not simply give up Gozetsu for loss. Before aught else, we must needs search the ruins. Allow me, my friends. The castle is still collapsing into the river and could easily drag you into your deaths. I can navigate the waters easily without fear of drowning. Be reasonable, brother. You know he is right. John Cena. Ba-ba-da-da. Hi, Omega. Welcome to the stream. Wait, why are you crying? Why is the Bibble thump used as the emote for hi, John Cena? The name's Grant. Grant, a word, if I may. My lord withdraws into himself, unable to turn his thoughts from the keep. He needs us now, more than ever. My friends, I am returned. I swam as far into the ruins as I could. And? Did you find him? Nay, my lady. Naught remains of the keep for me to search. Undermined from below and shaken from above, the manner of its collapse was most unusual. If the floor beneath him gave way before the rest, it is not impossible that he could have been sent tumbling into the river. But the water is thick with silt and debris. Despite my best efforts, I could not find him. I am sorry. There is naught from which you should apologize, thank you, Soraban, for taking it upon yourself to search. The castle is in ruins, and the people are eager to learn the fate of their nation. We leave at once. Are you sure, my lord? The day is won, and the morrow beckons. It falls to us to greet it. Well, thank you for thinking I'm built like John Cena, Omega. I like to think I'm just, like, built like a generic action man, but with a little more muscle. I'm going down to the docks to see if I can't get one of those Confederate ships to take us to the Enclave. Mayhaps we should tell the others at the House of the Fierce to gather there. Magnai and Sadhu know naught of what happened in the castle. I will go and tell them. They fought valiantly with honor. Serena, I pray you tell them that as well. You too, my friend, were instrumental in this triumph. I must insist that you be present when we bring these tidings to my people. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. And there you are as a dancer? Oh, that's a ninja. Because only the ninja does, like, the, you know, the ting, 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 ting. Neat. Alright, I need to go... Doggo. Meow. Dun, 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 dun. Alright, where's this guy taking us? You look all shite. The captain thought you might need a ride to the Enclave. Ready to come aboard? Yes, please. On you go, then. Sit wherever you like. I don't know what happened in there, but it's over. You won. That's cause enough for celebration, and those people you're about to see need something to celebrate. Almost there. We're almost in a place where we can, like, log off and such.
We brought everyone here. You were the last to arrive.
Thank you, Rasho.
I see. Thank you. We owe the Confederacy a great debt.
I have waited 25 years for this moment. You owe us naught.
How is your evening going, by the by, Omega? And yours too, Arak.
It's going.
No fun little, like, catch-ups on The Mandalorian or spicy takes on the Star Wars universe? It's okay.
I've never watched a Star Wars.
Oh yeah. I completely forgot about these conversations. Fuck. Why am I really bad at remembering things?
Oh, I am too.
Look! It's Lord Hien!
Yeah, but it was like, I don't know. I think I'd, like, do better at remembering shit. Hey, Zapper! Give me back my shirt. I can't show my titties to chat like this.
Lord Hien!
It's him! He lives! He lives!
Some few words of encouragement would not go amiss, my lord.
Right. Yes, of course.
New things. You're the Lord, remember? You're the Lord, remember? Stand tall. Sounds like, you know, the better of
Forgive
three.
me. This is rather more daunting than I had anticipated. But you are right. I must be strong. Wish me luck.
Absolutely. Wish you luck. Dun, 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 dun. Damn, I wish people could just sit down and bow for me. It looks so important. Would you bow for me, chat?
We are a sorry lot, are we not? Tired, dirty, stinking of blood and sweat and ash. The people pushed to the point of breaking. And yet, we won. The perseverance to endure decades of oppression. The will to carry on the legacy of those we have lost. These were the bonds that held us together and gave us the strength to reclaim our home.
Hell yeah.
After 25 hard years, the shadow of the Empire no longer darkens these lands, and we may at last look forward to the dawning of a new day. But, my friends, it will be a day of work. So I ask you, have you yet the strength to stand? To rise up with me once more, here and now, and begin to rebuild our homeland?
Lord Hien!
This will not end with Doma. We will see to that, right, Lise?
Right.
Indeed, this is but the beginning. The tide is turning, and it shall soon bear us back across the seas and onward unto the next battlefield.
Oh yeah, because they want to get to, What's-Him-Who's-He, to Alamigo. Awesome. Alright, oh, back this way. Where do you want us to go? Oh, just out of the weird area that we're in right now. Why is there there are so many cables on my desk. I need to clean this up at some point. I have myself like this massive desk, and yet I still find myself like having it cluttered with cables up the wazoo every time.
Yeah, just Velcro them to the wall.
That wouldn't be too bad of an idea.
Until there's too many, and then you Velcro that to the wall.
So yeah, because right now I have like, let's see. I got 2 monitors that are sitting on the desk. The 3rd monitor is on a mount because I had the intention of having a 4th monitor connected to my PC, but it turns out NVIDIA is not exactly in the mood for having me trying to share 4 1440p monitors in one go. They would rather me not do that. because that's technically like 10K and their maximum resolution compatibility is 8. So they were not interested in me doing that kind of nonsense. So, but then I have, let's see, the XLR here, speaker, PC panel for adjusting volumes and such, but I'm going to be real with you. It's not that fun of a fader system. Oh, these controllers I can actually put away right away. And already I free myself up to some space. There we go. Honored hero, you seek passage across the One River? Yes, please. Get me out of this place and take me back to here. Are you quite certain you should not prefer to stay a while longer? There are sure to be festivities, at which you would be the guest of honor, like as not. Not interested whatsoever. I would like to go to sleep at some point. Very well. There are other ways in which we might celebrate. By rejoining the fight for freedom in Gear Albania. Short though our time here has been, we have all come to regard this land and her people as our own, I think. But we have done that which we came here to do. Word of Doma's liberation will soon spread throughout the Empire, and we must seize this opportunity to rekindle the fires of liberation in the West. We dare not allow the Imperials a moment's respite, lest they march on Doma again. For the sake of all concerned, we should leave immediately. Did I hear you right? You're leaving? Yes, indeed. I'm afraid so. We've got our own battle to fight. What about you? Will you be heading back to the steppe? Yes, the battle here is ended, and there is no cause to remain. The Oronir and Dothar have already withdrawn. I will follow them anon, but I wish to bid you farewell first. The Blue too. The Blue too must return to their homes, but we will be back. Doma has need of merchants and builders, and we are eager to offer our services. And just like that, our grand fellowship is broken? Without ceremony or pomp, you steal off into the dark. No matter, we have plenty to be getting on with, places to be, people to rob, and so on. And the captain never was one for mingling. I am a pirate. Give me a song at the tavern and I'll be happy. Hobnobbing with Lord Hien, nay? no taste for the finer things. In any event, we need not part ways here. If you are for Kugane, we would be happy to take you. Her waters have always been fruitful. I wish you well on your journey, my friends. May you ever walk in crimson. Thank you, Serena, for everything. May the kami speed you on your way until we meet again. Dun, 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 dun. Awesome. And then talking to this guy. When is the ending to this? Naught remains undue. You are ready to depart? Yes. Where are we going? Oh, Kugane. Awesome. And then have everything? Good. We will need to weigh anchor before the Sekasugumi arrive. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you for what you did. Give my regards to Oldon. Awesome. All right. I am going to find a tavern and have my character, like, sleep or some shit. Where is a nearby tavern? My goodness, how far are we from, like, just any aetheryte? Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I hope I'm going the right way to get to someplace. Well, that was a roundabout way to get to nowhere. Alright. So if I use this aetheryte, the hostillery, I think, is what I want. Hopefully I'm going the right way. Then... No, it's not these peeps. Where am I meant to go to get to an inn?
Oh, the inn there. I can direct you if you want.
Yes, please. Is it just,
Okay.
like, up floors, or...?
No, it's to the very west, I believe.
Oh, I see it. It's this thing, the Bokorio Inn, right?
That sounds right.
Alright. I was just having a very hard time trying to find it. There we go. Gonna get the music playing in the background as I get really close, because it'll take a minute for it to actually pipe up. Innkeep. Yes, I would like to retire to an inn room, please. Dun 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 dun. Yay, and then there's a bed there I can go and exit the game with. Alrighty. I am going to end the stream there. That was pretty decent. I'm glad I was finally able to do a dungeon. Oh, the last, like, few times I was getting into this game, it was like, oh, you're going into, like, you know, NPC zones, or you're going just running around instead of actually being a, like a dungeon. So I'm glad I was able to finally get there, and I was able to bring you along, Iraq.
Furrycures1221 thinks you should do 20 squats.
And I just realized that I've been missing out on 40 squats right now. Alrighty then, I'm gonna see if I can do 40 squats in like one sitting. And then I have to like do a raid. I'm gonna mute myself for this one, so then that way Iraq doesn't have to worry about these noises. Alright, here we go. 40 squats. Because I was an idiot, I didn't pay attention, I didn't find the time to do a set of 20 because they were being done in the dungeon. Here we go. Move the mic away. I don't have powder. Here we go, here we go, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Hi there, Blue. I'm going for 40. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Halfway there. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Ooh. Thank you for the 40 squats. I forgot to do the previous 20, so I put them in with this 20 and just did 40 in one go. Oh God, my legs. Okay. Boop. There we go. Alrighty. If you will stick around with me for just a tiny moment, I will get a raid organized. Now, it's been a while since we've done one of these, but we're gonna go raid into Code the Yoshi. Right now they're playing Tales of Vesperia. We're gonna go with the classic Himbo raid message here. If you do not have the emotes, that's okay. You can use what other kind of emotes you want, just so long as it's with our message Himbo raid. Show us your cutest guys, gals, and non-binary pals, or prepare to get swole. So, we'll get to that shortly. I will be back online in about 12 hours. It's going to be a Sunday morning stream. We're going to be going through a lot more Star Wars stuff to try and get all that done before we go into Jedi Survivor coming up Friday. And I'll try and get a schedule out shortly. Otherwise, I want to say thank you everyone who came along to tonight's stream. I greatly appreciate it. Duncan Dice, thank you for the raid. Thank you Archimedes for the recent follow. And I hope to see you all next time. But for now, we'll get ready to raid into Code the Yoshi. Bye for now.